Yeah. Marshall. So what you know about teamwork? Cause I've been in the clouds trying to make the dream work. Always done it on my own, that's why I seem hurt. Cause I ain't met no one that ever put me first. So what I know about teamwork? Cause I've only ever done it on my lonesome. I gotta deal through it out, yeah, I grown some. Don't expect love if you've never shown none. I spent last year in the haze, so many records got made. I kept that shit to myself, I only wanted my pay. I took some time for stage, got in the bed with the snakes. They wasn't doing their job, I let them slither away. I wanna build me a team, so I can get to my fans. I need someone on my side, that's gonna give me a chance. But shit just ain't what it seems, don't let them in on your plans. I hope they know what I mean, I hope that you understand. So never land, never pan out. Wings talk, think I better let them span out. Was too chill, think I better let the man out. Grew up with hand-me-downs, now I'm never taking handouts. Man, if you knew all the things I'm marching when I'm planned out. But I need help to do it, so can I get a fan count? Never understood me, now it's funny how I stand out. Me, myself and I, homie, welcome to the madhouse. So what you know about teamwork? Cause I've been in the clouds trying to make the dream work. Always done it on my own, that's why I seem hurt. Cause I ain't met no one that ever put me first. So what I know about teamwork? Cause I've only ever done it on my lonesome. I gotta deal through it out, yeah, I grown some. Don't expect love if you've never shown none. I know my girl on my side, I'm trying to build this alive. Thank God my family alive, and I just wanna provide. They say it's gonna take time, but I've been losing my mind. She helps me grow and evolve, my family ready to ride. So why am I feeling low when life is giving me highs? I put my value in sales instead of hoops by my side. But I can see it's the front, that's why I'm not coming back. Yeah, I was slow to react. Don't give a damn what they thought of it. Yeah, I'm feeling glorious. Go flash in the audience, man, should've recorded it. I took a color pill, used my computer skills. Now I got agents after me, word up to Morpheus. The future I sorted it, do this till I'm bored with it. Invest in myself endeavors, hope I don't get audited. My body is a temple, but I fucked up the ornaments. I'm so gassed up, the US probably at war with it. It's a message to the earthlings. Join the team round here, we put the work in. It ain't teamwork if only one of us is working. Only thing I'm signing is when fans bring the merchants. I ain't got a thing yet that I wasn't deserving. And I ain't famous yet, but that bitch be flirting. I'll make it rain, start a wave and go surfing. I'll make it rain, start a wave and go surfing. So what you know about teamwork? And what I know about teamwork?
Good morning, or well, good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? Is everybody having a great 4th of July weekend? Yes, happy 4th, happy 4th. Thank you, Thunderbird. Hey, Grandma Sherry. How's it going, love? Hey, Shauna B. Baby Boomer, how are you? Hey, Nicole B. Hey, Tazzy. Yay, Hakab, I'm so glad you're here. So glad. Hey, Jonesin. Nicole B, I said you already. Baby Boomer, far cute. How's everybody doing? It's Sunday. Everybody having a good Sunday? Hey, Burden, I sent you the link, hon, if you wanted to hop up. I did just do a little test run with Velly backstage. He was able to connect, and then he had to go do something real quick, so he said he'll be a couple minutes, and then he'll be here. Hey, Nonsense. How's it going, babe? Oh, I'm glad. Where's my uppers? Hey, how's it going? I love the name. I love the name. I'm a little nervous about, I don't know if I've done like full interviews before, but we'll see. I think just for the couple minutes we talk backstage is really easy to talk to. So I think it'll be all good. I lost something in my couch. Hey, B. Hey, Perfectly Imperfect. Oh, there's Burden. Hey, Burden. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, but I can barely hear you.
Oh no.
Let me see if I can turn you up a little. Okay, talk again.
Okay, hi.
Good. All right. There he is. Hello, sir. Come on up. Come on up. Hey, Parody Patty. Good to see you, hon. Hey, Skilo. Thank you, bowling. Thank you. We've had some crazy fireworks going off, and I live in a very small town, kind of separated from everything, but the neighbors have really just been letting fireworks off like crazy. And so my dog has been so high strung and antsy, and so I'm kind of ready for the fireworks season to be over, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, my cats were really scared too. They didn't understand like what was happening, but it kept happening, and they were like, "Mom, is this gonna end?" And I'm like, "It's okay, guys." And then they decided, "No, we're running," and they took off. But
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Nonsense. That's so sweet of you. Hey, Heels, how's it going, hun? You're fangirling. Hey, KNS. So, will you put a one in the chat if you had never heard of Velly Ray? I'm just kind of curious who had never heard of him before last night. Mm. Thank you, good Allison. I live in the hood. It's always fireworks season. That would be a fear of mine, Grandma Sherry. It's kind of crazy when just checking my email, make sure he didn't send me something back. Um, when they like let them off in the November or December in the middle of no season, you're not expecting it, and fireworks just go off, and you're kind of like, what is going on? Oh, horses! I bet. Hey, Evil Queen. By the way, I bet they hate fireworks. Yeah, my daughter's dog doesn't, but ours, he does. He's really affected by them. Okay, so we got one, two. Thank you, Boomer Baby. Wow, quite a few of you. Not before my live yesterday. Gotcha. Yeah. Do you remember when you first heard of him, Burden? The first time you heard of Ellie?
sorry,
Or
I was struggling there. My bad. Through you. The first time that you did because I had known about the six and kind of
Mhm.
like the talkings of things, but it
Yeah.
wasn't until you did your stream and then you mentioned him, and so I went and took a look, and I've watched every single one of his lives since you mentioned
Yeah.
him. Hmm.
I just randomly found him. I was doing oh, do you need the link again? Okay, no problem. Let me send it. Grab it. You should be able to still use that one that was in there, but this will work too. I'm not gonna pin it because it's just for him. But there you go. Yeah, I was doing research looking for information on the Southeast Portland area when I was digging into those cases, and that's when I found his StreamYard because he, labeled his videos uh, research in Southeast Portland, and so I watched a couple of them. I thought it was really interesting, and he'd already been out there doing it for about a week by that point. Well,
Hmm.
he'd been doing stuff in the area for quite some time longer than that, but I meant talking about the girls. Hey,
Right.
Juju. Well, we're glad you're here. Hey, Blue. Thank you. Perfect. Perfect. Perfectly. Thank you.
So I'm trying to compare. I see.
Nonsense.
I had seen. I looked something up on Facebook just about like Portland, and there was somebody listed their daughter as being missing.
Mhm.
Um, And it said, like, "I'm her mother. I haven't seen her since January 9th of 2022, but the last time anyone heard from her or had contact with her was December 22nd of 2022." Um, she has mental health issues, addiction, and her
Hey,
last known whereabouts. Go ahead.
1 second. Velly, it says your devices are not connected. If you can hear me, I don't know if you need to reconnect your audio. I don't know if he can hear that. He did great the first time we tried it. Here, I'll email him. You go ahead and keep telling us that story, Burden.
Okay. And so it says that, let me come back up to it here, that her last known whereabouts that she knows of was Portland. She leaves her phone number, and to have her daughter please get a hold of her or her sisters. Now, the thing is, when I look at the picture, I mean, she looks older than a teenager to me. And also, the mother put that up the 20th, June 20th. But I just did a quick search just in like Google. Yeah, no, that's a different person. That is definitely a different person. I was going to say, when I put her name up, what comes up is that a body of a missing teen had been found in South Carolina Lake. And I was like, wow, that's how'd she get to South Carolina? But this does not look like the same person unless she, no, that's not the same person. So anyways, I want to look further into this, but I'm a little concerned about it. And, possibly Velly can, we can do some flyers for this one too,
would
if
be
in fact she is still missing.
interesting. Welcome, unseen thinkers. How are you? Yeah, let me see here. I'm trying to get a hold of him. I might go ahead and just text him.
Yeah, go ahead, do.
He was kind of nervous about working StreamYard, so we tried it beforehand, and it did great. But I know it's a lot to learn for new people.
Hmm. Yeah, sure can. Let me see. And then also I made a flyer too because I hadn't seen anything floating around because there is the sixth woman.
Wait, here we go. Here he is. There, you figured it out. How's it going, sir?
Is it working?
Yes, now it's working. I'm like, I was getting ready to text you. I'm like, I got his text and my
Yep.
email. Let me go do that, but you figured it out.
I can't believe I got it working. I haven't been on a panel in like 7 months.
That's what you're saying. It's been a hot minute. Well, welcome to our channel. Sunday afternoon's a little slow, but that's okay. We still want to get your story out there. First, I do want to warn everyone that this isn't, Velly's not a true crime creator like we are used to in this genre of content here on YouTube. And his opinions might differ from mine. They might differ from Burton's, and they might differ from your own. Just please be respectful of that. But you're free to ask any questions, of course, and we'll try to get through some of them. But I want to start out with Velly. I think a lot of people have seen my video, but I want you to just tell us a little bit about who you are. Did you grow up in Portland your whole life? Things like that.
Yeah, born and raised here. I went to elementary, middle school, and high school all in the Southeast. So I know these streets like the back of my hand, So
You've ran into a lot of people out there on your lives just from the 20 I've been watching in that
I've ran into friends I grew up with out on the street,
Yeah. How's that feel?
The guy, actually, I was live streaming the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And 2 Clackamas County cops got shot right off that trail that I'm always on. And one of them was Joe Schaefer.
Mm-hmm.
Another game named Tyler I interviewed on the trail. Joe Schaefer I played Pop Warner football with at the Lentz Boys Club. And the live before that, someone was going to take me to where his tent was, but it was deep in the woods. So I was like, I'll just come back next time. So it's like I know a lot of these people out here, and I grew up with most of them.
Yeah, I think it's not every stream, but every other. Or there's quite a few. You're running into people I remember that one you sat down and talked with that guy who he talked about wrestling with you. He knew your brother and things like that. It was really neat.
Yeah, it's well, I started doing YouTube like 11 months ago.
Well,
Never been.
I thought it was a little longer, but you're right.
It might be a
been about
year.
a year.
It might be a year and a month. I keep saying 11 months for like the past month. So I'm sure it's probably a year and a month now.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year and 2 months, but it feels like 11 months. But I just started out just playing around, doing cooking and stuff, just showing things about just my life in Portland. And then all these fentanyl, then they, Measure 110 passed where they decriminalized fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine, so everyone can just walk around and just do drugs in the open.
You talked to one gentleman on your channel about that. You have a really great video about that. He's the older guy. I can't remember his name. He helped pay for the flyers initially, and
Yeah, he's a homeless man, Richard. He's the one who
Richard,
started this.
and he had some very strong opinions about that Bezier and what it's doing to the people out there on the streets, because he's on the streets, right?
Yeah, his son was murdered out there.
Yeah,
There's
I remember that interview. You just put that one out yesterday. It was really good.
Yeah, they look exactly alike, and I don't think he met his son till like he was in his late 20s or something like that. He didn't meet him like for a long time.
Yeah, later in life.
But
Um,
so the Measure 110 had happened, and then like right, I live like right off 82nd and Powell, and so it's like
mhm.
all the stuff that you see me film, I just started filming it and stuff. I was driving by, and then all I did was drive by and was filming it. And then I was like, I got to get out here and talk to these people, So I started getting out and talking to them. And then people, were saying, I'm like, these people out here starving. So I'm like, nah, I need to feed them if I'm going to talk to them. If I'm going to talk to them and get content off them, I might as well feed them and talk to them and give them positive energy. And then it led to me trying to take them to rehab. So these things have escalated. Bybee Lakes Hope Center, shout out to Will Bastion. He gave me all access to one of the biggest facilities for homeless and rehabilitation center, to the homeless and drug users, to rebuild their life again. So I can take anybody anytime when they're ready to go, but they're in the driver's seat. I can't make them go. All I can do is plant the seed.
That was one of my questions, was how you got into, like, it progressed. So it progressed as you just
He reached out to me on
showcasing
my
the
channel.
area you grew up in, and then that just progressed into you helping more. Is that how that went?
Well, he contacted me through my channel, and he was like, the
Really?
whole facility like loves what I do, and they wanna help me try to get people in. So then me and him met. He gave me a tour of the whole facility. It's actually Wapato Jail, and it's like
Okay.
they turned it into a millionaire bought it, but they never turned it into a prison. So they turned it into a rehabilitation center for the homeless. And so it's been there, but they only go off donations. And the city of Portland, Oregon has over $46 million just sitting in a fund right now where they're not doing nothing with it for the homeless. They also just put up a thing where they're talking about spending $10 million to give to nonprofits and other organizations just to go around and talk to the homeless, not put them in facilities,
Just to
not
talk
try to
to
get them
them.
to go to rehab, just to go around and have conversations with them.
What? So basically, just to do what you're doing.
Yeah,
Would
but
it be any
they would
religious talk with them at all? Do you know if anyone goes around and actually talks with them about?
they haven't spent that 10 million yet, but they're in talks about with what they want to do with the money. They're just holding on to it.
That's bizarre. Tell us, if you don't mind, a little bit about, we've seen these organizations, I don't know if they're paid, if they're nonprofit, like come in and clean up the camps. But then, as we've seen from you showing it, the very next day or even later that night, they're right back there. They've just lost all their belongings. How does that work? What's that all about?
I can tell you, it's called rapid response.
Rapid response.
The lady I believe she just quit her job. I believe, don't misquote me, but I believe I think she quit. The director of the whole thing, and the thing is, this is what really got me started in doing what I'm doing now. It was about 7 months ago. I was handing out free stuff to a lot of people. I got donations from shout out to Derek Rashid.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me lots of things, to donate to the people, and I was walking by off Flavel, a lot of, where the area where I believe where a lot of these girls had come, not saying they didn't come up missing there, but they've had contact. I believe that trail that I go on all the time, they've had contact with the killer. And that's what I believe. That's why I'm always on that trail, because it's like in the center of the area of Clackamas
Yeah.
to Vancouver, Washington. And that bike trail goes all the way to Vancouver and it goes all the way to Clackamas. And I'm in the middle of that on that trail.
And so
And
so 7 months ago you started out there. He gave you donations to hand out there.
And I'm under a bridge, and I met a girl named Jen Wall. It was nighttime, and I was handing out things, and she told me, we kind of had an argument at first, but then I gave her a bunch of new stuff, and she was like, well, and I said, if you need help, let me know. So she was like, I need help. She's like, I got a housing voucher and this and that. And so we exchanged numbers, I met her, went back a couple days later. I've helped her bring firewood and other things. We built a bond and a relationship. And I got her caseworker's number. I took her to a brand new apartments and, helped her fill out her application. She had been homeless, living under a bridge this is my biggest accomplishment on YouTube. So people can criticize me all they want to, but just the fact that I did this, I won. So she lived under a bridge almost 4 years, and I got her help. I got her caseworker fired. I put them all on blast, and then now she lives in a brand new apartment. Her mother actually thanked me and sent me $100.
Now,
And
why did you get her caseworker fired?
because all the caseworkers, the whole facilities with all the money that the city was given to these caseworkers that they work for, they're still getting paid. They shut the building down for over a year, and they were not returning any calls. So all these caseworkers, who knows how many homeless people they have under their belt getting paid every month, but her caseworker never helped her for years. And so, I was risking, probably getting sued and all type of things, but I got her caseworker relieved, and then now she's in a brand new apartment living her life. And so she was living in that area where I believe a lot of those girls came up missing or had contact with someone.
Contact with people. That before we get into the girls, because I do want to go deep into that discussion because you've been doing so much there. A lot of people have reservations about the way you approach the homeless. We've seen it on your own channel. I've seen it from, sharing it out here. They feel like it's exploiting them, or your approach with them sometimes is a little rough. What do you have to say about that? Like, why? Because I agree. There's sometimes some things you say, I'm like, oh, don't say that, don't do that. But I have to remember this isn't, my choice. So I'm just curious why you interact with them, and it's not everyone, but certain ones in certain ways.
There's certain things when people say that, I like to give certain responses, and that's like, I could give it in a couple different ways. I like to say that, like, do you think you're better than me? And then I also like to say, I'm not perfect and neither are you. And what do you do I'm not saying you, DeetS, and people that say that, what do you do just being on the computer? Get off your ass. I got off my ass and I did something. And the whole story to Jen Wall, this leads to that. So I called Channel 12 News. I called Channel 8 too. You know what they did? I told them there was a homeless girl that has a housing voucher. She needs a home. They have all these hundreds of brand new apartments built, the city spent money on. They've even bought motels. They're buying all this stuff, and they weren't filling up none of the brand new apartments, like blocks and blocks. One of them was Bria Housing Apartments. I believe it's off Gleason. That's where I took Jen Wall. And they weren't filling them up. So what I did, I called the news, and I told them about how the housing vouchers aren't being used from the caseworkers. You know what they did? They said, we don't trust YouTube channels, and they hung up on me and screamed at me. And now all I see is the news promoting their YouTube channels. So they thought I was trying to get clout. I was not trying to get clout.
You're just wanting them to be aware of the situation.
Exactly. So I don't deal with the news no more. I don't even watch them because they wouldn't even help the situation of what was going on. And the reason why I start doing the thing about the girls, and this is another thing. Before I started doing the live streams about these 6 women, especially the last 2 months, I went viral on 2 videos. I got 30,000 subscribers. I don't need clout off these women. I got over 30,000 subscribers in the last 2 months. I'm not here to brag about it. It's just the people have spoken. Right. So somebody must love what I'm doing. You
kind of had the bulk of your followers before you started, sharing out their flyers and talking to their family members and showcasing them.
It's actually slowed down. And actually I'm going to, I need to go back to my original content because, people want to say that I can always back off. But what reinforced what I'm doing is my biggest fear was having a mother cry and call me saying, take that video down about, my daughter or what they're saying. But instead, I had mothers showing up on my live streams crying and calling me. And another mother called me just the other day and wants to bring me chicken to go hand out. Charity Perry's mom called me crying.
That's where I don't know how I know, like here Jasmine says he sounded judgy to me, what shouldn't be if he really likes to help them as it is a repetitive issue, but I'm here to listen and learn. I think a lot of
What's
people
judgy? Well, judgy about what?
just felt like you were. I think she's saying that the way that you approached certain homeless people or certain
Well, I'm gonna tell you what it is.
judging manner.
You know what? That's what society raised me, and that's the way I act. And I'll tell you this: I spit the facts and the truth, and it's transparency. If you don't like it, don't watch it. And the reason I act and talk like that, my job is done when I don't have to film any more of these drug addicts on my street. The city has given them the okay to do whatever they want. And so my job is done when I don't have to film none of them. When they don't want to be on film no more, look, let me take you to rehab, stop doing fentanyl, and you won't be filmed.
Yeah, I think that was the comment that a lot of people had issues with. They felt like you were saying that, they deserve to be filmed because of the situation that they're in. But is it so much so that you have to be a little tougher out there dealing with some of these people that you encounter? I don't
Well,
think you
there's
can
a video. Sorry to cut you off.
You're fine, babe.
There's a video that I always tell people, when some people liking my videos and they comment, I see them comment on every video. I say, hey, if you want to unsubscribe from me, I can give you the video and I'll let you see it.
Mhm.
So I give them the video. That's my worst video. And it's a video of downtown last year. And it was a homeless, I was live streaming Joe Biden's Secret Service.
Mhm.
I had like Homeland Security, Secret Service. I had them all subscribing to me. It was real fun walking around the hotel and stuff. No one even knew he was there. I just stumbled on the whole situation. But I did a 3-hour live stream. And after that, I turned it off. And then I heard screaming. So then I turned back on my live. It was like midnight. And it was like around Halloween. And I run up to this girl. And the title is Karen lied and said I stole her bag October 14th in real life.
I watched that, yeah.
Yeah, and she's screaming, and people hated me for shooting that video, but I thought I was going to save a life. And then she turned around and told the police I stole from her. She wanted me arrested and searched.
Mm-hmm.
So now after that, I'm like, I'm recording all this.
Yeah, it's kind of a safety measure. The cops have body cameras. It's also preventative because you can't be accused of things. Runs with Scissors says you are assuming they're all on drugs. They are not. I don't think he assumes that because he talks to quite a few, or not quite a few, but several out there that are not on drugs.
88% are on fentanyl and meth.
Yeah,
I can prove it to you. They admit to it to me. They admit to me. I'm not assuming nothing. I got proof.
I can also vouch that when it was just a couple of days ago that Velly's out there and there's an actual man who is exploiting them, who is likely selling them fentanyl and recording it and laughing about it, as opposed to going out and actually feeding them and giving them clothing and saying, can I help you? Would you like to go get rehab and get off the street? He's giving them opportunities. And you could see live a man that is actually exploiting them and giving the drugs to them, thinks it's hilarious, and then was harassing Velly by driving and following him.
That was the situation.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to you can't be I don't think I could go out there and be myself and get through. I'd probably get ate alive. You have to have a certain amount of tough exterior to do what you're doing, the approach you have, and getting them to what they are.
I said that the other night too. Yeah. There's no way they would eat me up, spit me out. As soon as the first person, I would be like, okay, here's the things. I'll set it down. I would be gone. You've got to be tough.
Yeah, when you interact with most of them, they will try to set a tone with you, and then intimidation factors all come into play. And if you just baby them and say, "Oh, here you go," like they get talked to by like their family, and that's why things don't work. I have to be aggressive with them. Sometimes I have to, and I see them dozing off, and I know it. It kind of sounds disrespectful sometimes, but I'm always like, hey, listen, hey, look at me, you listen, you hear me, because they're like, I need them to pay attention what I'm trying to tell them, because fentanyl is so cheap they can smoke it all day. I have hundreds of videos. I got 2 videos taken down from YouTube, and so now I'm not making no money. I've put more money into doing what I'm doing than I've made. Trust me.
You can see that.
I got 17 million. I got 17 million views right after I got monetized. My first check was $156.
I'm sure all your
So
live
I
streams are yellow.
so, yeah, see, they're all the yellow dollar signs.
Yeah,
So
all the
I'm
yellow
not
dollars.
I have one video, I think it has like 2 million views, and it has like, I think I got paid like 57 cents from it. So no one can tell me I'm getting rich on YouTube. I laugh at that stuff. I got screenshots of everything, so that will be coming up one day.
I had a woman email me late last night, and she said that I hope she pops. I hope she does pop in because she was really sweet. But I wish that there would have been someone like him approach me like that, because it took her a lot longer to get free and break free of that lifestyle, and she would not have responded to a gentle approach. So that was really eye-opening, because I am of the opinion of, well, you shouldn't, record people like that or talk down to them like that, but the proof is in the fruit of what you're doing. All the people that you've helped get into rehab, we're talking about a few bad instances, but a lot of times you walk up on a tent or a motorhome and they already know you. They already know who you are. They already know what you're about. They're excited to meet
They're
you.
watching it.
Yeah.
They're watching it.
You have, family members reconnecting. That was a really beautiful moment, to reconnect a lost loved one with their family member that's out there, and she hadn't seen her in a couple years.
I can't even watch that video.
That was a lot. I could hear you crying in it. But
Yeah, that video broke me down. I can't. I got a few videos I cannot watch. Because
I have
I'm out there. Sorry about that. It's a lot of people think when I first started doing this, a lot of people say, this is what I wanted to do in the comments. This is what I wanted to do. I was going to do what you're doing. And it's just like, this is not what I wanted to do. I fell into this. You know what I'm saying? And it's me talking to these people, me smelling their breath, looking into their eyes, having grown men cry and hug them, and grown women cry. This has affected me for the rest of my life. This stuff isn't fun. I'll never forget none of this my whole life. There's people that have offered me $1,000 to show them where this fentanyl heroin camp is, sex trafficking camp. I won't even show them where it's at. There's
that
people
big
that's
building
offered me,
you showed?
there's people that's offered me thousands of dollars to take them on a tour. They offered me, say, can you take me on a tour? I was like, what the hell? This is not no circus, man. So I turned that down. So if anybody wants to say I'm clout chasing or do any of that, get off your ass and you come do what I'm doing. Come walk with me. Anybody, I can't read the chat. I wish I could. I don't know what people are saying.
No, they're not. They're being really
No,
good
no,
in the chat.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If I don't know what people are saying, but if anybody even listening, disagrees with what I'm doing, don't watch it or come help me give out food. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't be no computer gangster.
Well, that's one thing we talk about a lot in true crime, is because we do have people in this section that Burden and I cover that do, things that we don't approve of, and they go and they record people when they shouldn't and things like that. So we do say, help your local areas, and here we have a guy who truly is helping his local area, but then you add in this other part of it, like the recording, that some people are turned off by. But I understand why you're doing it, and I don't view it as being exploitive, and it's kind of hard to explain how I can think one is and the other isn't. But this question from Captain Napton is really great. She said, why lie about recording though? Because we've heard you do that a few times, when they'll say, I don't want to be recorded, and you'll take their face off. That's fine, but then you'll tell them it's muted and it's not.
Okay, buy me a laptop so I can edit the video. There you go. I have an answer for everything. All I have is my phone. I don't edit nothing. You know what? It's raw, real. And if they don't want to be on camera, then get off. This is public property I'm filming on. So you're telling me a fentanyl drug addict that steals every day has more rights than me? Just you're mad because I'm filming or recording their voice? I'm not here to get answers. I'm trying to figure out who killed these girls. I don't give a damn if I'm recording you and I lie about it. But you know what? I've never lied in my life. But when it comes down to 6 women, I'm gonna lie to get information. You damn right.
Well, I think it's a narrow road you're walking, and I hope you're being really safe with that, because people can take advantage of that.
Everybody's being recorded. People have doorbell ring, cameras. When you're riding by, when you ride by someone's house, you're being recorded. I got to tell you this. This is the most respectful thing I do. I got a tripod and it's like a foot long. And when I'm walking up to people, I'm holding my hand in the air. Everyone can see I'm recording. I don't have it like most people do. These YouTubers that have millions of views and they're rich and they film the homeless, they record from like 20, 30 feet away, handing them money. The homeless don't even know they're on camera, or they have the camera hidden in a t-shirt or in glasses.
Yeah,
everyone can see that I have a camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that you've been very, you approach with your camera in hand. You have them hold your camera and record you while you're getting.
Yeah, I want them involved. That's right.
And do you think that you have like a passion or aggressiveness about it because it's a lot? I mean,
great question. You can Google this, type it in. Cordell Bloxon, Monroe, Louisiana. Okay, that's my father. Okay, he's the first registered black boxing promoter in Portland, Oregon's history. He killed a skinhead in 1993. My mother is white, Greek, French, and German. My father held one of the biggest black marches here in Portland, Oregon. And after he killed this, he owned a bar called Nieces and Gabby's. Mm-hmm. He was in Gresham, and after he killed the skinhead, he got off pro bono, self-defense. 4 skinheads waited an hour outside of a bar for my father, hit him in the head with a crowbar. That 357 really worked. He got off self-defense. After that, he moved back to Monroe, Louisiana, and every year for over 20 years, he gave over hundreds of turkeys away to the city, and he gave away toys to the kids. Did big toy drives. Anyone can Google his name right now. And he's a cook, cooked the best food, and that's where I get my cooking skills from, him and my mom. And I feel like, and he died about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and he died as a deacon. I don't go to church, Well, he was a hustler and a boxer his whole life, and he owned businesses. So that's where I think I'm getting it from. After he passed away, this kind of bled into my soul. So now I like helping people. I was just filming people. Now I'm I was just filming people. People got mad about that. So then I started helping people. They got mad about that. Then I start feeding people. They got mad about that. I can't make you all happy. I'm not here to make you happy.
Well, no, you got to do whatever you choose to do in the manner you choose to do it. I think Cappy said you end up breaking that trust that you built, so you're kind of defeating your purpose. I say no, because I've seen it happen where this person is literally arguing with him about not being on camera and not having it recorded, and then 5 minutes later they actually want to be. They're like,
yes,
okay,
see, they want,
it shifts so quickly with someone.
Crazy. They actually love the camera, you guys. They do, and now a lot of them are wanting to be on camera.
Yeah.
So
I was the same mindset that she was. Like, wait, you're going to lose their trust, but then if you keep watching, it's like a weird way it somehow gains their trust.
Yeah,
I don't understand it, but I've seen it happen continually in lives. What was this question Burden had? Says Nonsense asks, can I ask what his connection is into the rehabs? I know places around us have wait lists and it's incredibly hard to get anyone in. So I'm curious if there's resources in Oregon that are available easily. How are you able to get them in like the next day? That's one thing I noticed as well. You're able to get them in very quickly.
I have 5 different facilities I can get people in, and they've all reached out to me through my channel. Will Bastion's number 1, and I got 4 others they don't want me to really talk about, but I have all their information, and once people are willing to go,
is it a referral system?
A referral?
Is it like a referral system they use?
Yeah, but it's that B just got on me. It's that they trust me. And you need a referral. So like they basically the people that run it, they got to be able to. They send people out that give referrals. I don't have a referral, but I'm basically like a link to the referral. So like I can have anybody. I can go pick up anybody anytime. Meet them and the referral. Takes 5 5 to 7 minutes on some information, and then I can take them. There's only two rules.
Mhm.
You can't be a sex, because there's kids and families that live in some of these facilities. So you cannot be a sex offender, and you cannot get loud or scream in the facility. You will be removed.
No, I think
Um,
go ahead, Bryn.
so I was just going to say, Cabby is asking, well, not really asking, just says that the last 2 live streams, people were pretty standoffish with him, in her opinion. And I can say that there, I believe, it's kind of a journey. And what occurred at the prior to those two
Yeah.
was what probably leads to them being standoffish.
And
And
I think if you stick around, Happy, you'll hear it, because I do
yeah,
want to get to these. Let's talk about the 6 girls, because I think that's going to answer that question
right.
if you keep listening. So we have, let me pull them up here real quick. We have there are 6 initially there were 6 women that were first missing, and then murdered, except for the one who's unidentified. She was never declared missing that we're aware of currently, but the other 6 they were missing for 4 to 6 months before their bodies were found outside of technically the Southeast Portland area, in wooded areas. Um, but there's a few connections that link them together. Their height, their weight. Not all of them still look like this. Obviously, they were brunettes, mainly very skinny, very petite girls. And as you've been walking the streets, you've had their moms reach out to you, and you've also been able to, when you're sharing these flyers, I like that you do not put their names on the flyers, and people will point out,
Mhm.
Kristen or Bridget, and say their names because they know them. So many people know mainly these 4 girls. I don't hear Charity as much, but these 4, a lot of people out there know these 4 girls.
Also, I'll say too that the police have actually said, based off talking with media, that at first it was reported that not their names, but just that 3 of them were seen hanging out, associating in a location together, but they didn't say where. And I wondered, is it the trail? And then I now finally did find reports, and sure enough, absolutely, that is what it's saying. That the 3 of them were living out, and they added Charity, Joanna, and Bridget as the 3. And
And,
yes.
yeah, can you just tell us a little bit about your journey with sharing out these flyers, why you share out these flyers, some of the things you've encountered? Jones in here said she loved DAP and enjoyed the combo you had with Bridget's ex, Sean. And I think a lot of people enjoyed that combo with Bridget's ex.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Another guy dated Bridget, the black guy named Dap. He's the one that always has all the girls at his tent. And
Yep.
I could tell you exactly how the flyer started. I was watching the news. I was going through YouTube, and it popped up on my feed about Channel 12 News put up this flyer. They put up this picture, and I was like, it's the first time you're hearing about it. I didn't know any of their names or anything. I just seen the YouTube video of it. So then I started waiting for something on the news. 1 day went by, 2 days went by, 3 days went by, 4 days went by, and I was like, this isn't even on the news. So I said, you know what? I was sipping on some Makers and Coke, taking a bong hit, and I said, I'm gonna do something crazy. I said, I'm gonna go get flyers made. And I'm gonna put my personal number on it, and I'm gonna catch this dude. I said, because people, I said, I guarantee you, nowadays how people love to get clout. I said, because I seen a study like a couple years ago, and they said, they did it on like a generation, like from the age of like 14 to 18. And they said, would you rather be rich or would you rather have likes on YouTube? And that generation said they would rather have likes than be rich. So I was like, I know some crazy idiot that maybe has something to do with this might call me. And that after I started, then Richard Hanley, me and him met up. I gave him a smoked chicken, and he put up the first money for the first flyers. It was $52 for 100 flyers.
This is Richard Hanley, guys. He's a homeless guy out there on the streets. And if you do anything, go listen to these shorts, and then you have a couple videos on him. He's a really interesting guy. He's really,
Yeah,
really
Richard is dope. Richard is dope. I love Richard. Shout out Richard Hanley. I appreciate you, man. And so we got the flyers made, and then all of a sudden, out of the thousands of phone calls I got, or say about 1,000, the one that I put on my channel in the video section, I wish you could play that video.
I can.
Could you play that? And he's the only. I got no trolls besides one, and they were some young kids. But this guy, I got a feeling this dude is up to something. And he called me several other times. I got other videos of him.
Was it a video or a short?
It's a video, because it's just all black. It's all in my video section.
Oh, is it this one?
I think it's 3 or 4 minutes. It's a 3 o'clock in the morning phone call. And this is the first day I handed out the flyers. So I struck a nerve.
Hello?
Oh, you must really want to get fucked, huh?
Hey, DeetS.
What's that, brother?
I said
Sorry.
you really must want to get.
I want you guys to know. Sorry to do that. I want you guys to know something. This was at 3:30 in the morning, and this guy does not know I have a YouTube channel. He just seen the flyer. Okay, go. He doesn't even know he's on YouTube.
Oh.
Fuck, right?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're definitely not talking about your mother, my mother, or anybody's sister, right? So, what's your problem now? What's going on?
Well, I want to know what happened to these girls.
Uh-huh. Yeah, me too, man. I want to start a party. You got any girls you're missing? You got some girl problem in your life? That's what it's telling me so far. Yeah.
Sounds like you're walking. What fentanyl camp are you walking to now?
Well,
Are you searching for your next victim?
I'm searching for you.
You're
Shot calling out.
You're
You
searching.
don't want to get beat up. You want to think about it right now or visualize? Visualize it right now. Can you visualize? Man, passes on my heart. Fucking hit me a couple times. And, no heartbeat. Cold motherfucker. Cold blooded. Oh, worse than snake.
You're worse than the snake, huh?
Worse. Even worse than that. No, I'm looking for you. You wouldn't have to know a guy can visualize that shit.
Well, I can bring me to you, homeboy. Where you at? I'll come to you. You want to have a beer at a bar? You want to go have a beer?
Kind of sucks me. Like I'm all up in thought here. That already happened, didn't it?
Where you at?
Huh. You're that boyfriend in the car that I left, because I didn't want to be rude?
No, I'm not gay, homie. I'm not your boyfriend.
Who's going to save all that?
What are you doing with the girl? Why'd you kill the 6 girls?
Oh. Whoa. And how many was that one you're talking about?
Was it more than 6?
Are you going to ask her or me? I mean, I don't know. Like, is she there? Because I heard a little...
No, I'm by myself. You didn't.
Good. I must be just like, listen to their own voices or don't.
Are you hearing voices of the girl? Are you hearing last voices?
I'm hearing some problem with that you have that you want me to take care of, and you just don't know what to do about it.
Are you talking about a woman you think you heard? You want to take care of that? Why do you?
Ever had Iceman?
Why are you against women so much?
Yeah, But yet we could have them alive if we did that sort of thing. Now, like what? That's something you've done wrong, or are you worried about like bang?
I want to know why you did what you did, man. And I want to meet.
I want to know if you know anything about being in Multnomah County, right?
Yeah, I'm in Multnomah County.
See any red light? This the guy.
I'm right on 7.
Green.
You want to know where I'm? Hey, you want to know? You want to meet me?
Now, any problems with girls? I don't think you're hearing me right.
If I have any
so you're feeling easy right now, like you're chill, Bill. All right, great. Well, that's awesome. I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you the rest. So thanks.
Why are you
hang up on you one last time?
No, hold on. Why? Just answer the.
Beat yourself up over it.
I want to know why you're out. Why did you kill the 6 girls?
Why did you not?
Why did I not? Because I didn't want to, but you did it. Why?
Well, why did you have to keep saying it for so long that I'm going to have to admit? Are you insane? Are you recording this?
No, I'm not recording.
Well, one of us is insane. So let's just go ahead and talk about this all night.
Well, I just want to meet.
Problem? What's going on? And who are you calling?
If you're such a gangster, come meet.
That I called you, and you've got this.
You said you're.
I'm calling you right now. You calling me?
You said that. Oh, you said you were a shot caller.
I'm gonna hang up right now.
You said you were a shot caller, right?
Provide the information if you have like.
I'm a shot caller. Hey, I'm a shot caller.
Good. Then you're gonna hang up on me, right?
No, I'm gonna come find you.
Oh my God. I'm gonna be beaten out.
I'm gonna find you, bro. Do you not realize?
Right
I'm gonna find you. You killed 6 girls, bro. I'm gonna find you, bro.
Oh, please.
Where are you at?
Disappoint yourself.
Where are you at?
Pointing a stick in my left hand, and I just dropped it. Dead.
You just dropped a knife?
Dead.
Were you at a camp?
I'm a dead man walking.
Are you filming the girls before you do what you do?
So what makes you think that this is connected? By the way, Richard Hanley's in the chat. Shout out to Richard. And we're all praying for you out there, bud. What makes you think this is connected to the girls? I mean, it's creepy. It's a very creepy call. But
Because the first day I handed out the flyers, I got the phone call right after a live stream. And this guy's never... I put these flyers at that fentanyl, heroin, sex trafficking camp on the bike trail by Flavel. And I got that call. I've gotten 7 different calls from him, and not one time has he mentioned YouTube or my channel. So this guy's going strictly off that flyer, and he said other things in other videos that I have that you guys haven't heard.
yeah.
He actually admits to doing some certain things. So
Have you turned that over to law enforcement?
you know, the last time I turned, hell no. Look, let me tell you this. They use anything I try to turn over to the police, they turn it against me. When you do that, they start investigating you. I have a video, a live stream where the homeless people at DAP's tent, the black dude, there's like three girls in there, and they hand me a bone. They tell me about a bone that they had that they wanted to give me, but I was live streaming, and I said, I'll come back tomorrow and get it. I went back, this is all on tape. I went back the next day on camera again. They gave me the bone in the bag. I never opened it. Kristen's mom, Melissa, came and met me.
Yeah.
We were just supposed to go live streaming. Excuse me. And she said that, you know, she was like, well, hey, I said, yeah, the bone's here. It's been here since yesterday. And she goes, well, what do you want to do with it? And I go, I want to take it to the police. So you want to go with me? And she goes, well, I can have the detective meet us, you know, that's, you know, on Kristen's case. So I said, all right. So we met the detective up there, and there's the police up there and the detective, and they like have their arms crossed, and they just want all this information on me. And they're just like mean mugging me, looking me up and down, kind of like looking at me like I'm a criminal. I've never done drugs. Yeah, I smoke weed and I drink alcohol, but I've never done drugs. I've never been to jail, you know, so I've never been in trouble. And so like, I'm trying to help you guys out. Take the bone. You know, and she was trying to ask me, so where did you find it at? How many steps was it this way? I said, listen, have you seen any of my videos? And she's like, no, I just need you to tell me, like, she wanted me to like tell her like verbally GPS how I got the bone. And I was like, well, you need to just look at the video and it shows you everything how I received the bone. And then she's recording it. She goes, so you found this bone where? And I go, no, don't do that. I said, I was given the bone. Don't, she tried to, you know, point a narrative and tried to say, so where did you find this bone at again? And I was like, no, it was given to me. So when you do that, that can incriminate me in the future. So don't even try to lie at all if I'm trying to give you evidence.
Yeah, that would be.
I was going to say
that's a good reason to record too. That is a very good reason to keep recording because
I was recording, but Kristen's mom got real nervous about me pulling out the camera because they were starting to point a narrative. So she was getting nervous. So I recorded it for like a minute or two. So then I just, being respectful, I turned it off.
Yeah. I meant when like they gave you the bone, it was very important to have that on film so that you can tell, people aren't accusing you of going and finding it somewhere. You were giving it to them.
Yeah,
What
and then there was a story about a hand being missing, and I guess the guy found that this girl, she knew where her hand was, and I was trying to, every time I trying to link up with her, she kept getting mad. So, but I guess the hand was found. There was a hand that was missing on that trail too,
Mhm.
and I have video guy saying in a tent that he found the hand and gave it to the police.
We have a question here from Forgotten Whisper. She said, "Do you think people are messing with you to protect someone specific, or do you think the killer is actually calling you? Because you can tell sometimes these people are just lying to you. Some of
Every,
them."
I would tell you this. I would say, depending on what interaction, let's pull it up. You tell me who you think's lying. Let's vet it the right way. Whatever, who, because you know what, I believe a lot of these people I'm out here talking to, they ain't got no reason to lie, no agenda. Most of them are honest. They might get a couple of days mixed up. A lot of them don't even know the day.
Mm-hmm.
They're out just getting high, living the free life on Flavel, smoking fentanyl. Even, Marcelina is Vicky Diaz's sister.
Yeah, let's talk
She,
about Marcelina.
and a lot of you guys don't know this, but she's out there with she's homeless. She's out there hanging around all the fentanyl people. I've seen her with, I'm sorry, Marcelina, I love you, but I've seen her with several
Mm-hmm.
dudes that are out there that are dealers, and I told them when I seen them, I said, because Marcelina was supposed to come out and hand out flyers with me yesterday. She never called me, so I'm gonna go show up there today. I found her in my last live stream. She was sleeping in her tent. She's had her phone off for 5 days. I told every dude that I seen her with, because she's staying by that fentanyl camp, that warehouse. They were throwing rocks at me. She's living on the side of that now. I told all that the dude I took the skateboard from, he's another dude. My last live stream, he gave me the skateboard. And they did that because they don't want me there no more. They're willing to give me anything just to leave because they know I'm hot. They know I'm hot on the trail and they're mad. It's, and so I told them if anything happens to Marcelina, I'm coming for all of you.
By the way, Marcelina is Vicky Diaz's sister. She's a missing woman. I had shared out her poster about 3 weeks ago, and the very day that I shared it out, I tagged Velly in it because it was a missing girl in Portland. That very day, her sister shows up on Velly's live while he's out there on these streets, and she starts sharing with him about her sister being missing. She thought she might be the unidentified woman, which the unidentified woman has tattoos. I need to send you pictures of, because she would be able to tell if her sister had those tattoos. But so now he's also sharing out Vicky's poster because she's still currently missing. She has not been found.
And I could tell you this, I'll share this first time with anyone and everyone on your channel. The unidentified woman, I found out a couple days ago that her name, I got a phone call. This is allegedly, I heard she was a tall, beautiful black girl, and her nickname was Amazon.
Okay.
That's a room, that's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true. So, but then again, Marcelina, when she looked at that flyer, when I first met her on that interaction you were just talking about, she said, she goes, I think that's my sister. And she actually pointed at that unidentified girl.
And Marcelina believes her sister was trafficked.
Yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was she thought had happened. You've had a lot of interactions with people believing they know these girls. I remember there for a while in the beginning. They remember them from was it a local bar at first? What's that place?
What's that?
What's that place called that in the beginning, when you first started sharing their flyers, there were several that believed that some of these girls were hanging out at this bar, getting in cars with guys, that sort of thing.
It's that bar right on that trail. You guys could actually find the name right now. I think it's Springwater. It's a Springwater. Look at Google up Springwater Trail Bar. It's that bar, and it's right when you walk. I park at that food cart place called Cartlandia, and I walk across the street, and then that's that trail. And that trail, that building has cameras, microphones. All the homeless know it. They tell me to whisper when I'm walking. You can see the cameras. I have video of a homeowner. He cut down all of his grass a few weeks ago, and he's on camera. I'm talking to him, older gentleman, and he told me all about that place. It's an operation. I've actually met some homeless people and they told me it's the real deal. They said, do not go back there. You know, it is what, and I was making a wild guess when I did the video last summer. It was intuition. I felt it, you know, and then it's all facts.
Trying to see, is it Lutz Bar? No.
Whatever that bar is across the street from that Cartlandia, it's like right off 82nd and Flayville.
Okay, let me see if I can find it.
And then that car lot is sus. That car lot needs to be raided by the
Jordan,
FBI.
do you want to talk about that car lot a little? Because you've dug into that. I don't know if she's still with us.
I see a lot of those homeless girls that are drug addict prostitutes. They all walk inside of that car lot. Even the Mexican girl, I forget her name right now, but she's in a short video and she's looking at the flyer, and she told me she works there. So I believe a lot of these car lot dudes are handling business there. You know.
You went really quiet. I don't know if it was just me or.
It went quiet. Yeah.
Okay. Did you do? You
Sorry.
did a little digging into that car lot, Burden, didn't you?
Yeah, I was looking at some of the reviews that were left of people that said that they purchased vehicles from there, and they're all claiming how shady, that the people are shady, the business itself is shady, the vehicles were junk, complete trash that they lied about. Pretty much they sold them a lemon, and so I've been looking at those kind of people, just trying to see like real experiences, if it's real, and questioning, right, is this a legit review by somebody, or is this one of the people that's associated with it? And then I also kind of wonder, what is his name? What is it? Is his name Dab?
Yes, Dab.
Dab.
That
DAP.
first tent. P.
Yep.
Is he? He's cool with those people, right? In the car.
Look. That's what we really need to talk about. Look, and I know DAP is not going to watch this, and you know what?
I'm worried about him.
Me too. That's why I'm gonna just say that. I'm just gonna say,
Okay.
I got the biggest magnifying glass on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a ex-boyfriend of Bridget.
He always has girls there.
And he's actually dated another one of them. I forget that he was he's dated two of those girls, or another girl was in his tent. I can't remember exactly which one's name right now. And Charity Perry, she was actually, I have a video down at the end of that trail by the train tracks. She was a dude that lives in a tent. He told me about how it was the craziest interaction he ever had with a girl, and she was back, said all this bad things about her, and comes to find out, I talked to Charity Perry's mom, and she told me, she did have a lot of mental issues and things like that, and she, her memory and stuff. So she her hair wasn't, and her mother told me, it's not that, she was forgetting to comb her hair. She didn't have dreads, because a lot of people were telling me in the video she had dreads, but she just kind of had trouble with remembering to comb her hair and stuff. So she didn't have dreads. It was just natted hair. But this guy knew Charity Perry, and she was seen on that trail too.
Yep. And the first time a red flag went with me was actually your second time returning back to him with the flyer. And when you walked up, you said, "Hey, did you let the women know?" And he said no. And you're
thank you
what?
So much. Oh my God.
I was like, hold on a second. Like, this guy acted like he was going to help. He does have women to warn. Like, these women are so vulnerable.
Oh, you're on it. You know what? You're on it. You hit the bullseye. I'm going to make a short video out of that. I forgot to. You know what? Because I've been interacting with him, built my trust for about a year with him, right? And then all this stuff started happening. I just started noticing all these girls over there. He's the reason why he gave me the idea to go there to even search about the girls, because I was seeing so many of the girls at his tent. And he's a dealer. I think he's in cahoots with that car lot, of course. And
look at his reaction.
He moved his tent for a while. A few months ago, he moved for like 2 months, and then he came back.
When did he move?
He moved like 3 months ago and was gone for a month and then came back. Like when all this started happening, he was gone for like a month and a half, and then he came back. And I said, "Oh, it's even in one of my videos." I said, "Oh, you moved and you came back." But the main thing, I just can't forget what you just said right now. I have to say it before I forget. Thank you so much for saying that. When I left him a bunch of flyers and I went back the next day and I said, "What's up, Dap?" And I looked in and I seen there was an older white man in there. And then there was like 3 young white girls. And then I said, "Hey, Dap." I said, "What's up, bro?" He was like, "What's up?" And I said, "Hey, man." I asked the girls, I said, "Did you guys see the flyers?" And they go, "What flyers?" And I said, "Dap, you didn't show them the flyers?" And he goes, "I didn't want to scare them." And I said,
Yep.
"Man, why didn't you show them the flyers?"
And Dap's tent is where you ran into Marlena as well, isn't it?
Marcelina, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The answer is on that trail.
And guess who didn't protect you when you were being cornered and they were blocking you? They were throwing rocks at you, everything. The one person that would have had your back, would have been him. And he wanted nothing to do with it. He was trying to hide.
Yeah. And then he said to me, he goes, "It makes me wonder if I can trust you anymore." And I said, "I'll shut this whole trail down." I said, "I'll have the FBI here, DEA, everybody." I said, I said, "If a nickel bag gets sold in the park, I want in." I said, "I want my cut. You guys out here selling fentanyl and you guys are trafficking and trapping these girls out of tents." Dap. Yeah, I let him know how I felt the last interaction.
Has he always had all of those people in his tent? Because like a lot of times you just see where it's a small, 1 or 2 people in a tent, or like here in this car lot, there's a community back there. You've showcased that, and they are very protective of that community. But he seems to have like his spot there on his own, and
It's
I don't know,
strictly,
a lot of people there.
It's strictly prostitution and fentanyl. That's it. That trail is fentanyl and prostitution.
Well, and you've had, and that's not just like an observation. You've had girls that are working tell you that too on your live streams. That's what's
you know what?
happening.
I'm going to do something that I've never done before. And my next live stream, I'm going to have every single person admit the drugs they do. And I'm going to have them admit if they're a sex worker or not. And guess what? The way I talk to them, they'll answer and they'll tell me. So I can put since everyone wants to say Velly Ray assumes, I can put all your guys' stuff to shame. I'm not a basketball rim, so you're not going to get points off me. I'm gonna win no matter what.
I don't think people are trying to get points off of you. They just have genuine questions. Lead with Love wants to know, does Dap know Uncle Rio?
Only Rio. I don't know any Rio.
Yeah.
Who's Uncle Rio? Did they see that?
They didn't say. They just asked that.
Did they see that person in one of my videos or something? Because I remember every name. I don't remember Uncle Rio.
Trina said, "You don't or can't understand unless you live here in PDX. You have to be tough with the homeless, or they see you as a target, even if you are helping."
Yep.
There's a tension out there on those streets between residents and the homeless that are living on the bike trail in the public areas, in those encampments. There's a huge tension boiling and bubbling, and it's very concerning that law enforcement and the government is not stepping in, because I feel, just my opinion, that, and all of this is allegedly and in our opinions and all of those things, none of it is fact, but besides the information about the girls where they were murdered or where they were found and things like their names, but other than that, it's all theories and opinions. But I feel like it's about to explode, just the tension out there between residents and those living on the streets. Why is law enforcement and the government not stepping in and taking appropriate measures?
I can tell you this. It's a money grab. They're eating 5-star dinners and going on vacations and buying really nice homes. They're not living in this community. You know how many times I've done live streams before this girl's situation happened? I was having hundreds of people tag the mayor, the governor, Ted Wheeler, and none of them were responding. None of them responded one time. I've called the mayor's office. I said, "Come out here on a walk with me. Come out here." They don't respond. They can just ignore you. So there's nothing that can be done about the approach. You got to go out there and film it for yourself and let people just see. Like right now, I can leave my house right now and go live streaming and show you guys some stuff right now that a lot of people would be mad at me for showing, but they're out here doing this on the street. So you can't be mad. Like if a bar is filming these people outside in the parking lot on a camera, why can't I walk up and have an interaction with them and maybe help them and maybe plant a seed, even though I'm recording it?
Well,
can I ask you to, have you seen, and asked, I should say, I think I already know the answer, but have you asked the people you interact with on the trail and that are living out there about whether they've had any police come up? Have they had any cop show up and ask them any questions in regards to the women?
Great question. One year I've been out here filming real intensely for the past 6 months, but I've been doing the thing about the women for, I just looked and I can't believe it. I thought it was a week and a half. It's been 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this about the women. And the thing, like, sorry, what did you just say again?
How many, has there ever been law enforcement?
Oh yeah,
that
sorry.
stepped up
So
and
like I've never
asked questions?
seen one cop on the trail. I've never seen one city activist giving out water or food. I've never seen a caseworker out there helping a homeless person. I've never seen anybody out there doing nothing but rapid response removing camps after they watch my videos the day after. If you watch all my videos, you see any camp that I did, I'll go back in the next day or two, they remove it. They're watching me. They remove that. It's like I'm out here doing the footwork to show them where the camps are. So it's like I'm out here snitching on where they're all at, but I'm really not.
Building tensions between the homeless that are out there and you, that they're coming right after you come through.
Exactly.
Lead with Love says that the Rio guy owns a barbecue.
I knew you were talking about Snoop's uncle.
I guess
why would Snoop's uncle know a homeless? So what does he have to do with that?
He was asking if he knew Dap. He said he'd message you later because he's gonna realize who I mean. Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Is he saying that Dap might be related to Snoop Dogg? I
don't know. Maybe. I was trying to find perfectly. Yes. Being. I agree with perfectly here. I feel like accusing people of being a killer is not okay.
I didn't accuse anybody of being a killer.
I think sometimes it kind of comes across that way. And do you think that people do you think you're accusing people of doing some things and they might not have done them yet?
I've never said there. I don't use one title in any of my videos saying killer. I've never said anything about a serial killer in Portland, Oregon. I've never used that as a title.
Right.
I say I'm more creative and I say everybody is a suspect. And you, DeetS, if I even feel like you had a brother or a cousin out here that lives in Southeast and he was homeless on drugs, and I'm gonna come film him and you too. I'm just joking. No,
I have no problem.
I'm joking with you. No, like,
no, I know.
To me, everyone is a suspect. It's like, even if people are accusing me of being the killer, it's the stupidest stuff.
Cappy says she's heard you accuse people of being traffickers. Well, there are some that are known. They brag about it. They're women that are working for them tell them, say, yeah, he's overhears it.
Well, who is that just said that?
Her name's Captain Napton.
Okay, Captain Napton. I'll give you a shout out on my next live stream, and every single woman I approve that admits to being sex trafficked and a prostitute that admits to it, you can at least say,
But are you possibly accusing people of
I didn't say everybody.
Yeah, no, not all.
When we say accuse, like, we got to say which person. We can't just say, I don't go around accusing people of anything. I can get sued for that.
You could. You really could.
I don't accuse I don't accuse nobody. I said Dap is like, I said I have a huge magnifying glass over him.
Yeah.
I didn't say he was a serial killer. I didn't say none of that, but I'm looking at him.
Well, and
he's not the only one I'm looking at.
For the very reasons that Burden stated, his suspicious character. He seems.
And I can tell you this
things, and I think maybe if you have to listen to everything he said, maybe I'll go back and clip all his interactions.
Well, this is a fact. He sells fentanyl to the girls, and they're all doing it.
He's admitted that. Yeah.
This is a fact.
Mhm.
Okay, so you take it for what you want, and yeah, those girls are trading sex for fentanyl on that trail. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying some of them, and I'll get the ones to admit it on camera, and they'll do it. Like, did you see the black girl that knew Bridget, and she was in the tent, and I gave her barbecue chicken?
Is that the one with like the red wig that did a interview from her car?
No, no, no.
No.
My video section is it's the black girl. She she was supposed to. I actually have a short video with her, and she admits to her boyfriend didn't want her to go, but she was friends with Bridget, and
Yes.
she said that she in our last live stream when she was in the tent eating the barbecue chicken, she asked me why am I doing this, and I told her about how the politicians steal all the money and don't invest back in my community, and then she wanted to know if Bridget had a funeral, and I didn't know, but besides that, she's in a couple of my short videos, and she says me and Bridget had a $500 date with a trick, and her boyfriend didn't want her to go. Her pimp at the time didn't. Well, these
This
aren't
one right
pimps.
here? Can you see it on my screen? This
I got
or
my
am
son.
I sharing?
Son
Yeah.
is in
Oh
my
wait,
eye.
hang on. I gotta switch
I can see.
over. Is it this one right here?
Yep.
Okay, that's who I thought it was. She has like a red.
June 10th,
Yeah.
2020.
I have
Yeah, I've
video
heard
of
her
her.
story.
I have video of her. I want to tell everyone something. Public announcement. A lot of people. I have my first video is when I start recording these camps. I say heroin, fentanyl, meth camps, and that's because they are. A lot of people tell me heroin is long gone. It's not true. Heroin is back bigger than ever. They use it as the main addictive cut ingredient in the fentanyl. Okay, she in this video right here, I actually had to restart this video because she was shooting up heroin, and then I can't really explain what happened after that. But then she was like, I actually have the video, but I can't put it up on YouTube. It's going to go into my documentary. But she was slamming, and after that, we did this interview. But she's a prostitute. She admits it. And her and Bridget had a $500 date, and Bridget went missing the day after.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Perfectly said. I mean, if he's selling it to the girls, then he's likely not killing them unless he's spotting them and they aren't paying. I agree. I don't necessarily think that this is a serial killer anymore from watching your videos. I truly do think that a lot of this is situations gone wrong with dealers, or we do know there's
Or
suspicious
boyfriends.
deaths. One is ruled a homicide, so we do know for sure that Joanna was murdered. The other four are they're still just suspicious. So I think it has something to do with the activities they're involved in, not necessarily the sense of what we think of as a serial killer.
That's why I've never said serial killer. I just say I'm investigating 6 women. And I could tell you this, I have a video. I'm talking to a black dude and a white girl, and then there's another white girl. She's filling out paperwork, and it's off the bridge of 72nd, off 92nd and Flavel. And they give me an icy. In the video, they give me a big, huge icy. I was screaming across the trail, and then I went over there, and they give me an icy, and we start talking about the women. And one of the dudes mentions a guy named London that was in jail that owed him money, and that he was, saying, watch out for this guy. And then they start telling me about how 2 bodies were recovered under that bridge, under that 72nd, that 92nd Flavel bridge. And they were like telling me about this. And they were adamant that 2 bodies were found in that bridge. And I was like, well, who was it? Who was it? And they didn't know. And they were like, the news never reported or anything. But if I got homeless people telling me they seen the police, they seen them removing bodies, I gotta believe them. I can't. They're not. I never like made any other videos about it, but that's in a live stream, and they're telling me what's. So there's rumors that more are happening. Now I do believe. I agree with you, DeetS. That's why I don't. I'm gonna say it for the first time. I don't think it's a serial killer either. I believe it's either a dealer or a boyfriend or
Multiple
two or
situations.
3 different boyfriends. I believe it's about 2 to 3 guys, but anything's possible. It could be, but I
mean,
think
the fact remains that 4 of them are connected. You found out that they knew each other before they went missing. They were out there in these same areas doing the similar things. knowing the same people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they were killed by the same person.
And I agree with what Melissa's saying too. She just said that whether it's murder or ODs, etc., there has to be people in that camp or nearby that knows what happened to each girl. And
Yep.
that's the thing. Like, a lot of these people have a lot of knowledge about these women, and they've interacted and been around them. And so that's why, I made a statement about DAP, and he knows all of them. They stay with him. He seems to be the middleman that maybe is transitioning from who is giving the drugs. He gets them, and then he distributes to the women. And there is a lot of women and men that come to his tent. And I just did not like the fact, I'm not accusing him of actually doing something to them. But when we're warning women, like, hey, just be safe, be careful. There are women that have lost their life, and he didn't want to tell women that. That's why I'm like, something needs to be done.
Exactly. See, a lot of people need to understand that. Why didn't he put up the flyer? If he really cared, he should have put up that flyer at the end on his tent, like that other black man did a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Like an older black guy on the bike trail. He had on bracelets and stuff. I gave him some food, and he put up that flyer on his RV on that trail. So why didn't DAP put up that flyer? Why are you not telling the girls? And this is what I need you. I'm not saying he's a killer or anything, but I can tell you this. He was a boyfriend of Bridget, and she lived with him in that tent. And
Yeah,
there
he
was
said that.
and he admitted to another girl being in that tent one night. I can't remember the name. It's in the video, but this was a while ago. So he's admitted. To two girls that have died that were in his tent at one time, and he dated one of them. So, and now he's got all these other girls. Like, he's got 4 or 5 girls every time. That's why I keep going. He's got new girls every day, and it's crazy how many different girls he has.
So Lead with Love said here, mad respect to you. And when I get up there, he said he's late. I'll walk with you and hook up with some supporters. Talking to you, Velly. And then he also
Salute,
said,
respect.
Many thanks as you all give. I'll double up. Thank you. Say Portland. Yeah, we'll send these over to him for sure.
How many people we got in the chat?
There's 150. It's a holiday weekend. It's a little slow, but I think people will come in, they'll rewatch this. And even if you don't agree, like I said, I don't agree with everything Belly does or the way that he does all the things. Even if you don't agree with that.
I don't want you guys to. That'd be horrible if you guys agree. I don't need a yes guy.
Right.
I don't need that. Trust me.
But I think there's some very important information that's being shared on those streams. And I am curious. I lost it. Perfectly said it earlier. Maybe it was perfectly. It might have been someone else in the chat had mentioned, if these guys are out there admitting on your live streams and we hear them that, yes, they're selling drugs here or they know these people are, why is law enforcement not coming in and making arrests?
I can tell you this. This is going to blow your mind what I'm going to tell you. And I said it earlier. I went and did a live stream the day before yesterday, and I was one of my childhood friends I grew up with. He sent me the video of how, I seen it on the news first, but then he sent me the names. I don't know how they released the names so quick, but the day before yesterday, 2 Clackamas County cops got shot and killed from like a warehouse robbery. They were trying to steal tools. That's next to Cartlandia. It's in the Portland, Oregon News. You can Google it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both arrested. I have an interview with the guy Tyler. He's on my channel. And Joe Schaefer, he wasn't on camera yet, but I grew up with him playing Pop Warner football. And they both shot, or Joe didn't. The rumor is Tyler shot the 2 cops. But they basically tried to do a robbery. Sorry, what's that?
I was just saying thanks. Someone sent a super chat and I was saying thanks, Claire.
Oh, and so yeah, basically that trail to me just leads to everything, and here's just what I was trying to say. The cops and their investigation, like Joe Schaefer, if you see my live stream the day before yesterday, I'm walking down there and I knew about the shooting, right? And I'm walking down there, and then you see in the video, I see Marcelina. I find her. She's like hot. She's in her tent sleeping with a dude. And then I asked her to go hand out flyers with me with her sister. And then I walked down the trail more. And then I run into that situation, you know what I'm saying? Of like, the girl, she was like, I'm Joe Schaefer's baby's mama. And I'm like, hey, Joe Schaefer's in jail. He just shot, they got in trouble for shooting 2 cops. And she's like, you're lying. And so me and her start walking to Joe's tent.
Real quick, Velly, real quick though, think of where she was. Where did you saw what tent was it that you found her at?
Which, Marcelina?
Mm-hmm.
No, the baby mama of Joseph.
She was down probably like about 200 feet past Marcelina on the right hand side in a big old encampment. And like when I walk up, she's like, doesn't believe me. And then so me and her start walking together. And I walk in, I'm filming it all, and she's like, I go, I want to film Joe's tent. I want to see where he was staying, because they wanted to take me there a couple days prior to this, but I didn't want to go because it was, I had to go, so she's walking me there, and then she starts getting mad, like, why do you want to film his tent? Why do you want to film it? And I'm like, all right, well, I'll just leave. So I left. But my point is, people living on that trail can shoot a cop and they don't even get their tent. The police never even went on that trail to search Joe's tent? No, they never went to his tent.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these people are free to do what they want to on that trail.
Well, like, that's what Melissa was saying. Melissa is the mother of one of these murdered girls, and she was saying she tried to get her the officers handling her daughter's case to come down and talk to some of these people, and they won't do it. That blows my mind.
Yeah,
some of the last interactions, men and women who have had the last interactions with her daughter and might possibly know something, and they won't come down and interview them.
Crazy.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, and it's wild that 2 cops get shot, and the police don't even, the 2 people, basically, put it this way, 2 people that did that, they live on that trail in tents. The police never went down there, and they didn't question one person. The police don't even go on that trail. So the 2 people that shot 2 cops, they never even got their tents raided. Imagine that. But they raided Nate Robinson's tent, the homeless man that wanted to shoot in the ground. I got like over 4 million views with him. The police sent like 3 tactical teams, over 20 police, and armed guard, everything armed. They raided his tent for showing a gun to a city worker. He just flashed his gun. So their priorities are all messed up.
And not just on this situation, but on the fact that they have a situation in Portland. It's almost like they're turning a blind eye to it.
I have interviews with cops, with 2 cops, and they told me that they gave up after the George Floyd riots and the stuff that happened downtown. I actually have it's on a short video. I told them, it seems to me you guys gave up after the George Floyd, and it seems like you turned your back on the whole community. And he goes, we did. He goes, our hands are tied. Measure 110 pass. He goes, we can't do nothing. I said, but you can't blame the whole community on a drug law being passed and some riots. And he goes, our hands are tied.
I wanted to grab Richard's video, and I'm going to put it in the link because I think Richard, he has some really good theories and insights into why, with the decriminalization and the handling of the homeless and how that has changed over the last couple of years, and him living it. This guy's living it. So I think it's really interesting to watch and listen to what he has to say about it. And, decriminalizing certain amounts, and they're getting what they just get fined now. And it's like $100 fine, and they could take that off if they just go to rehab, and they refuse to call.
If they just make a phone call to rehab, they don't even have to go.
Phone call to rehab.
Just a phone call, but they didn't even do that. And I want to say something real quick. I have a video that I always, I go to Multnomah Falls sometimes and I record it, and I want to give my condolences to the family. I believe they have 5 kids and a wife. To the man that lost his life yesterday, he fell off Multnomah Falls and died.
Oh,
I want to give my condolences to his family. That trail is real sketcy. If you guys walk Multnomah Falls Trail, there's lumps all. Are you from Portland?
No, I am from Illinois, but the last time we go past there, In our travels, sometimes I think the last time I was there was like 2017 though, but it's gorgeous. I love it. I love when you walk underneath the bridge that's under the road and then go up to the trail. It's a gorgeous area.
Yeah, it's
But
pretty
yeah,
dope.
you're right. That trail is very
It's the worst it's ever been now since the last time I went. So yeah, my condolences to his family. I think his kids, his all 5 kids were there and wife.
oh no.
So it's sad, you know. But and I want to give a shout out everybody. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to DeetS on the Streets. She's pretty dope. She's donated $100 to me to buy flyers and stuff.
Yeah.
I bought some flyers before and I need to buy some more. I spent like 50 and I got to spend her other 50. Will be done probably today or tomorrow until when I get rid of these other flyers I have.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I
I
want to
think
say
it's
I want to
important.
say thank you and appreciate you for supporting the channel.
Well, no problem. I think it's important to definitely pass out those flyers, get people's memories, churning up, and maybe they'll call 911. Maybe they'll give something to you or someone or something, and these girls can find justice because, like I said, even if I don't agree with all the ways that it's happening, I do think that we all want justice for these women and other women that are still missing and haven't even been found yet.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you know, some people get mad at me. They're like, why are you just pushing these 6 women? You know, it's just because I stumbled on what happened because it happened in my neighborhood. That's why. You know,
Right.
I can't walk around the whole world. I can walk around my city though.
But it's important to do outreach in your city. And even if you're not looking into this and people don't agree with how you're doing this, the fact that you, even prior to the past 4 weeks, you have, 11, 12 months worth of content of you helping out the people afflicted in your community, that says a lot. That says a lot. To be
Yeah,
able to,
and anyone that even has a problem with it, why don't you email me and come out and help me instead of complaining about it? Come out and show me how to do it the right way. Since you think you have a better way to do it, instead of criticizing me, let's perfect it and come out with me. Don't just talk about it, be about it.
I think that we say that a lot, to be about it, and you're being about it with your community and your people, your friends that you grew up with who are now homeless, and loved ones like the guy you played football with who has now done this to the cop, and watching you have that sit down interview with the kid or the guy that was friends with your brother and seeing him, and he's trying to like BS you through how his life is great, but you can tell underneath the surface that he's kind of gone through the addictions and stuff, and it's rough for him, and the way that you're talking to him is handled with grace. And I think those moments, those are very important moments, those interactions. And it's what's caused me to look past some of the other interactions I might not agree with.
Hey, I got to tell you this. This is really cool about my channel. They always, do you know what Vidic is?
No.
You don't know Vidic? It's a YouTube channel.
No.
You basically can get onto a YouTube thing. It's a YouTube channel. And they basically, you can try to get your channel to get reviewed. And they review your channel. And a lot of, they say, and not just them, but people say a channel like mine is not supposed to be where I'm at on YouTube. Like, I'm basically just filming my life, me cooking, me doing homeless. I did a lobster video one time and I lost 155 subscribers because I did a lobster video. But you know what? They don't realize those lobsters were $5 each. They thought they were like so expensive or something, right?
Those lobsters look good. That's why I put them in that little clip. I'm like, those lobsters do look really good.
And so, like, it's amazing to me. So what it is, so then after I lost all those subscribers, the next day, I did another video of some ribeye steaks, and then I got 300 subscribers.
So they prefer steaks over lobster.
Yeah, people get mad when you do lobster. They think like you're rich or something.
They think you're hoity-toity.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't deserve to treat myself sometimes. They want me to eat hot dogs every day or something. No, it doesn't work that way.
I think that it's Well, answer me this, when you make all that food, we've seen you making the chicken multiple times, but I've seen you take a whole chicken to a couple before, and you stood there with them on the street and ate it with them. That that speaks volumes. You're meeting them where they are. You brought them food, but not only did you bring them food, you're breaking bread with them and having a conversation and trying it out together and laughing. And I think that's what keeps people coming back to you out there on those streets. And it's not just about the fact that you brought food to them. You're getting down into the nitty-gritty and being with them on where they are, and I think that's appreciated there. So it doesn't really matter what the rest of us think about it. If the work that you're doing there is appreciated by the people there, I say keep doing it.
Thank you. I appreciate the support. And you know what? It's just like a lot of people see what I'm doing and they think I'm just holding a camera and they think it's so easy because they kind of live through it. No, this is hard for me to even get anybody on camera to accept anything, to even have a civil conversation. I know a lot of people watch my channel and they want to see me get knocked out. It's not, I know.
I mean, I'm waiting for it. I'll clip it. No.
I know. I know. Trust me. I already know. But see, the thing is, I know it can happen, but it's not going to happen to me, because I'm willing to lose my life to figure out who did this, and I will find out who did it.
Well, that's why I say, like, some interactions start off rough and rocky, and I'm like, oh my God, what's he doing this time? But then if you keep watching, if they don't turn then and start communicating with you and you have a good conversation, then it's the next day or the next day. And so sometimes I have to remember that it might have been Richard, it might have been someone else who said, sometimes you just know you can't approach this person on that day because of the drugs they've done or the state that they're in, and tomorrow you're going to get a completely different person. So it's a lot for me to remember those things too.
Yeah, you hit it right on the target. A lot of times when I set my live stream, I'm usually about 30 minutes to 45 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
I do it on purpose because it's about timing. Like I set that time, but I don't want to be on that time because sometimes I just feel the timing can be right if I'm just a little more late, and then everything just seems to work out with the interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people are lucky that we even get to see these interactions. Like imagine if I wasn't risking to get beat up or hurt, you guys would have never seen any of this stuff. Like if I wanted to, I can delete my whole channel right now.
Yeah,
I can delete the whole thing if I wanted to. And I love the fact that I have that power to do that. So I could end it all right now if I wanted to. And you know why I can do that? Because I didn't start YouTube to do YouTube. I started YouTube to do a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to make money. I'm sure I'll get a little donations here and there. I put almost all of it back into it, and even more. And so it's like, the documentary, I'm going to make my money on the documentary, and that's going to come out in about a year or two. So I'm not going to get rich on YouTube. So whoever thinks that, don't think it. Trust me. DeetS knows that. She knows I got yellow dollar signs. She knows what's up with the channel.
You're not getting a ton of cash ups in your live streams or
trust me. So whoever thinks that, don't think it. But when I come out, who knows? Maybe I'll sell all my stuff. Maybe I'll sell all my videos to Netflix in a year or two. Who knows? But for now, I'm trying to help people in my community, and I've built a bond with a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And that's what it takes. I've built the bond. And like I said, I have not seen one cop out here on the trails. I have not seen one city activist. I have not seen no caseworkers trying to help housing. None of that. They're not coming out here. So where's all this money they talk about? It's not seen. And that's why I keep showing it. Until they do something about it, I'm going to keep filming it.
So here is a person, their name's Stella B. They said, I'm from Portland and I found Velly's channel through DeetS' channel, and she's very thankful for that. So I think it's great that there are people learning about you through this that are from there and didn't even know you're out there doing it, and they support it. Our judgment and opinions aside, like I said, if your community supports this, those people continue to support you doing it. You have agencies working with you, giving donations, wanting you to help bring people in and stuff like that.
And sorry to cut you off. And let me clarify something real quick before I forget. I do not have a 501c3.
Right,
I
you're not
do
enough.
not have a 501c3. My biggest donation was a $200 donation. Shout out to J Mac, Oregon. He gave me a $200 donation to give back to my community, and I bought all chicken with it. And I recorded the video. I recorded the $200 donation, and I did that not to brag. I did it to show where the money goes. So, no one's giving me no $1,000 donation, no 20,000. I've got nothing like that. So I just want to clarify that.
This is a great question. Would you be doing this if you weren't recording it for YouTube? Would you still be out there doing these things for your community?
If I wasn't recording it.
Yeah. If you weren't putting it on YouTube as content, would you still be out there helping the homeless, feeding them?
I feel like I have. I feel like I have. Right now, I feel like it's my obligation to do it. Mm-hmm. Even if I wasn't doing it before, or even if I was, which I wasn't, it wasn't put on my radar until mm-hmm. Measure 110 passed. I was living my life. I was living my life like everybody else. I didn't plan to do this. Yeah. This is not no set plan. This is random. I might not even be filming. I might not even be doing what I'm doing now in 2 weeks. I might be doing something different. So whoever subscribed to me for like being like a crime channel, I'm not a crime channel. So right. If you subscribe to me for that reason, I don't know if you still might like my content, but my goal is to try to find whoever did this, but I'm still going to keep doing the content that I do.
You're still going to be out there afterwards feeding them and interacting with them on the level that you were before.
Yeah, my channel wasn't built on 6 dead women. That's not the clout I'm chasing. I believe since I started, I believe you can go back and look and you can see, God, what's the thing? There's a thing where you can check YouTube subscribers and stuff. I'm forgetting the name of it right now.
Oh, like Social Blade?
Yeah, you can go to Social Blade and you can see, and you can see everything right there. And not all that's the truth, but like I've probably since I start filming the girls, mm-hmm. I've probably got 200 subscribers.
That's not a lot.
No, that's not a lot. Before that, I was getting 1,000 a week.
Mm. So 10 wants to know, do you think like that you have already talked to the killer of one of the women, whether in person or on the phone?
Yes. Yes.
I know that when you were talking with Melissa, and I don't want you to share this, and it might be Melissa's son that's in chat or another victim's brother in chat, but you have a brother in your chat frequently. I can't remember his name.
It's Bridget's brother.
Bridget's brother. Thank you.
I told him he's seen the jewelry on the people on the video.
That's what I was going to bring up, was that interaction about the jewelry.
As soon as I get off the phone with you, that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to cook some chicken and I'm going to go up there to that guy. His name is Gum. He's playing a song with a guitar in my video section.
Yes.
And he was a boyfriend of Bridget. Mm-hmm. And my goal, I've called the brother. I gave him my number and like, you have my number, brother. Won't you call me? I gave him my phone number I want to talk to him because I told him I'm going to go up there. He said that bracelet that dude was wearing, Bridget, was his grandma's, and that ring that girl had on was his grandmother's, the turquoise ring and that bracelet. So I said, call me, man. I need to know. I need you to prove it to me. If you can't, I'm going to go up there and go get it from him. So
if he can confirm that is from his family, I do think that's something you should call law enforcement on.
That's why I said it, because I don't want to scare him up. I want to be able to tactically persuade him to give it to me.
Yeah, I think that was great how you handled it when you asked them like, oh, if I contact the family and they say that, yeah, they might want that a piece of jewelry to remember her by. I think the way that you said that was very tactical and smart to not scare him off. But yeah, that's definitely her jewelry. I think that's totally a law enforcement moment where you should be contacting them and letting them know, hey, here's these people that have Bridget's belongings. This definitely needs investigated. And maybe the family can make those connections happen too. Might actually get them to get the law enforcement out there.
And there's another reason why I'm so passionate about the females right now.
Mhm.
Over 10 years, I think it's been so long, I can't remember really, but I think it's been over 10 years around there. I lost a girlfriend named Hillary Ann Margaret Wallace. She was a flight attendant,
Yeah.
gorgeous, coolest soul in the world. She was hung to death, in the presence of her boyfriend at the time. And they
Mhm.
said it was a suicide. I didn't eat for 3 months. I lost 45 pounds, and I think about her every day. It's hard even to talk about. And so
Mhm.
it's like, I want revenge for anybody that hurts a woman.
Justice. Yeah.
I want revenge and justice.
You want a
You
little
know, yeah. So
that's what I was thinking of, Cobb. That if it's an actual connection like that, that jewelry, the family can prove it was hers, things like that, it might actually get them to look into it.
yeah, because she bought me some jewelry before she passed, so I still wear it, my earrings. And so it's like I already know when I hear someone that died that had jewelry and someone has it, it's like I wanted to rip that bracelet off him and that ring off that girl and give it to the parents, but they have emotion tied to them by receiving it from her. That dude was crying. I just can't take some jewelry from him
No.
that Bridget gave him. I need to talk to the brother, and I need to find out, if this was really his grandmother's jewelry. And I believe him, but I need to talk to him first before I just go take some jewelry off somebody that had a relationship with her.
So Tin is curious, is Viper the yellow-eyed guy or is it two different people?
What do you mean, the Viper?
Yeah, the guy Viper, is he the same as the yellow-eyed guy you've talked or others have talked about on the trails, or is that two different people?
I don't understand the question.
That's all.
There's never been no yellow, or it's just the name Vipers came up.
I know Vipers came up a lot, and then Larry, was it Larry's came up a lot?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. One of the girls that has the ring of Bridget said that Bridget left all her stuff at Larry's, her cats, everything.
Mhm.
So I don't know if these people went rummaging through her stuff at Larry's house or if she actually gave it to them.
Have you ever met Larry?
Never. I was gonna go up to his apartment, but I heard he was already getting harassed and stuff. And
I wouldn't do that. That's that's a little
I've
too
seen
far.
the pictures of his home and his cameras and stuff. But I mean, yeah. Well, Bridget lived with him.
Yeah.
He was a trick, But evidently he must have been like, even though there's weirdo pictures of him and stuff,
Mhm.
he must have been like caring to accept all her cats and let her keep all her stuff. And I have no clue. I've never met him. I don't even have a picture of what he looks like. I just
So I was just going to ask if he's the one that has some social media accounts, quite a few of them, and it's I forget what it's even called. It's got like horns on its head. It's creepy looking. I'm
Yeah.
wondering
I
if
don't.
that's the same guy.
You guys have way more access than me because I don't have social media. I just use YouTube.
Mhm.
My whole life. I've never even been on a dating site. So like
Well,
me on
Is it the
social
one
media.
is it the one that's harassing Melissa?
that's what I was thinking.
No, I
That
think
would be a better way.
No, I think that's a boyfriend or some other guy.
Oh, an expo. Okay.
An ex-boyfriend or some other guy, I think.
Okay.
I
I
think
didn't
of
know.
her frequently because I don't often see her in chat like every day, and I
Mhm.
do worry because I did, of course, go looking at different things with him, and then wildly I found out he actually has a channel on YouTube that's like I forget now 300. I think it was like 300 and something thousand subs on it, and he does true crime, and I was like, what is going on? Why would he? It's so weird, like to
Who
make
is
the
this?
threats. The man that was making threats to Melissa.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is this like followers on Instagram or YouTube?
He's got all of the platforms, but YouTube, he's got a big channel.
This is the guy that was making those, and you're saying he has 300,000 subs?
Yeah, he's got Yep.
Wow.
And it's true crime, and yeah, I was like, whoa, I I sent it to someone that watches you. He sends you some money sometimes. He's in Germany, and he was like, "Yeah, I already knew this. I sent you screenshots." And I'm like, "No, but you didn't tell me he had a channel on YouTube. You didn't tell me that part."
You'll have to send that over to me.
Yeah,
I
I'd never
will.
heard of that.
Interesting. I can.
Can I ask, do you know, has anybody mentioned the name when talking about missing women? What was it? Carolina Anderson?
No, never heard that name.
Okay, I was looking and I found something that states that June 20th, her mother said that her daughter is missing. She is originally from Washington. However, the last time she heard her voice was January of 2022. But the last time that someone else had contact with her was December 2022. And that she does suffer mental illness and addiction. And her last known whereabouts was Portland. And I contacted her. I'm waiting to hear back if she's been found because it does not appear she has. And so I was just wondering if you've heard anybody ask about her at all. And then maybe I'll send a picture over to you and
Yeah,
information.
send me a picture, and I'll put it
Okay.
up.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, most definitely. And I want everyone to know something. I'm not trying to I'm just trying to film everything I can, and I want to get everybody's face and voice on camera that's in the vicinity of where I believe these women had interactions or maybe came up abducted from. So I'm not trying to be correct or wrong or I'm not trying to be right about nothing. I'm just want to record it. You guys analyze it. DeetS is great at doing what she does. So like I could, what I do is what I do. But like a perfect person like DeetS can break down what I
not
do, and
perfect.
then you guys have your opinions and you assess it.
Definitely not perfect by any means, but I think a really interesting thing did happen in your chat. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. A woman came in, and you might not even saw it because you were dealing with someone at the time, and she was asking if how she could connect with you because she wanted help looking for her missing daughter. I was able to go do a little bit of research and find that she hadn't seen her since I don't remember the exact date, like January or February, she said, but go and find that she was incarcerated in May. So that gave her gave her the number to the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. She was able to call up there and find out some information. So I think that things like that happen too. And those are good things, her being able to find out a little more information. And she said it gave her hope on her daughter. So
Okay, hey DeetS, let me ask you a question. Am I right or wrong? Two of the girls were found in inner southeast, right?
yes.
Okay, a lot of people keep saying they were not, and I know that they were found in inner southeast. And
The unidentified one and let me pull it back up here. I can never.
Kristen,
Yeah, it was. I do believe it was Kristen.
yep,
But yeah, they were found on Flavel Lake.
yeah.
Actually on Flavel. Now one was part. See, and that's why I don't think the unidentified woman is linked to this because she's the only one where they have said, she was found in her tent. It wasn't suspicious, but I still think that she needs to be on that flyer so people can find out who she is.
Can you do me a favor and go to 92nd and Flavel?
Yeah.
And I believe, is it 92nd and Flavel? And there's a bridge right there. And I believe a Checkers Mart or a store.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me share this screen.
There should be like a bridge right there. And this is where the homeless people told me that 2 bodies were found, but it never made the news.
Oh, I don't know if if it was something that's never made the news.
No,
but I
it
can
didn't.
look into it and see if there
Oh
have
yeah,
been
when you
anyone.
get time later, look up 92nd and Flavel and see
Next
what.
to the what? This store?
Let me see. I can't see it.
It's like what's this called? It's
Should be a bridge.
Checkers Mart. There's a Checkers Mart there. And then this the bridge by the 205.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I was trying to find here real quick because I don't remember off the top of my head, but one of them was found by a bridge. Speaks was found there. Uh, mm, it doesn't have it in this article, but I'll find it. One of them was definitely found down there. Burton, do you know off the top of your head?
I'll send you the exact address. I'll email you later of this area and this bridge where they told me this.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's all
We'll look
it's
and see
all
if
in.
have been any like reports of you know deceased people being
No,
taken.
I had over 20 subscribers call the news and asked them how come they're not reporting about any of this, and they said there's too many to report. There was a day that we had 10 people overdose and die in downtown Portland and in Southeast. They all overdosed and died on fentanyl one day. Like I believe it was about a month ago. And the news, they weren't putting none of it on the well, they put that up, but then there was a killing on the end of my street, 74th and Powell, at a homeless camp. They
Yeah.
never put that on the news. Then there was an overdose 5 blocks from my house off 82nd and Powell. That's where the deaf guy, where I interviewed him and I was going to take him to rehab. And that's also where the person overdosed and where I did the interview with those hookers recently. Okay, you know the black guy that I was arguing with and he was recording outside that camp?
Yes.
Okay, that camp, someone overdosed a month ago. The news, and his name was Black, just his street name.
Black.
The news never reported it. Then a week after that, there was a 2 cars shooting at each other and people shot 2 blocks from there on a side street. The news never reported that. Then you can Google this, Red's Bar and Grill, which is 2 blocks from there. My house is in the middle of all this. Red's Bar and Grill, somebody was shot and killed. They never caught the person.
Yeah.
So this is all happening in my neighborhood.
Well, there's a lot of stuff happening. I do want to remind people that, law enforcement are not linking these together. I did find this article that just said that kind of agrees with me.
Sorry. This has nothing to do with the girls. This is just
right.
what's going on in that same
I
neighborhood.
just want to remind people in general that, law enforcement has not said that these women are linked together. The unidentified woman, they have said that there was no foul play at all. Joanna, her death was labeled a homicide. She died of blunt force trauma, and the other 4 are looked at as being suspicious deaths. Now, a different article I had read once talked about there's a huge backlog there in the medical examiner's office, and that's why it's taking so long to find out the other's cause of death. And
wow,
they're talking like a 6-month backlog. It's ridiculous, the problem that they're having.
So how many more bodies are there then? If they can't even tell us about them and they're backlogged?
Well, the backlog of what the medical examiner does is determine the cause of death. So Joanne, she was found in Washington, and that's why her cause of death came out, has already came out, because they don't have that backlog that Oregon has. And so with them being tied up and not being able to process I'm losing my words right now, not being able to process it, they haven't been able to get to them, basically. That's the rudest, crudest way to say it. They haven't been able to get to the other 4 to determine their cause of death. And so that's why they're still considered suspicious. They're not labeled as homicide. They're not labeled as no foul play or any of those things. Or they're not labeled as an overdose yet because they haven't done the autopsies yet.
Okay, I want to tell you something. This is off topic, but it's something incredible that happened. So you can Google it. 74th and Powell is where a guy named Renee, he lost his life, and it was like his family still has like his memorial up there. It's like one of the biggest camps that I've filmed. And when he lost his life, it wasn't on the news or anything, and he lived in an RV. And let's just say allegedly, but I already know the facts. They had a camera in the RV. Him and his brother, like not him. There was a guy that lived there with his brother, and the brother would open the RV door and then he would like sell the drugs, the fentanyl, to the people, but he would never let them in. Well, this guy Renee, and they had a camera going in the RV because there was all these RVs on PAL. So this guy Renee had a machete. I don't know the interaction they had, but the homeless people told me, a girl, and I have it on video, but I didn't put it out. And she told me that that guy Renee went up to the RV. He had an argument. He had a machete. He had an argument over the drugs with the guy, the doorman that opens the RV, which is the drug dealer's brother. They start arguing. They got into a little scuffle. The dude with the machete, Renee, fell down on his back, or chest face first on the ground. This is what the homeless girl told me. The machete went sliding. The dude, the dealer, comes out of the RV, shoots the dude Renee in the back a couple times, 2 times. Then they leave the RV and they leave everything. They left the cameras and everything in the RV playing. Well, the next day I heard about it, and because I was filming at the camp, and they told me what happened. And I was like, what? The RV was still there. The police never even went in the RV and investigated it. I guess that all the homeless people said the police were there for about 45 minutes to an hour. And do you know that RV stayed there for about 3 to 5 more days? And then the next day I went back, and a homeless guy named David, I had interviews with him and his girlfriend. I was going to take them to rehab. They told me the police are so stupid that the guys that did it went back 5 days later and got the recording devices from the RV. They said they retrieved it. So the police weren't doing their investigation. They didn't even find, so the murder was on camera, but the police never found it in the RV because these dealers were recording all their interactions.
Wow. That's
So I was mind boggled that this killing happened outside of this RV. So why didn't they tow the evidence, the RV? The police left it there for 5 more days. Dudes went back and got the footage. So the police never got it. And then I called the detective, and do you know I left a message, and I had 3 other subscribers, and I know the people, they can admit to calling. The detective didn't call me or her back, the 2 people, 11 days later. My first question to him was, why did it take you 11 days to call me? He raised his voice to me, started telling me how busy they are. They don't have time. And we argued about him. I was trying to calm him down. And then he starts explaining to me that he's the only guy doing it. And they're just overworked. So it took 11 days to call me. I tried to tell him that
Velly, you might have your hand on your microphone. You're really muffled.
Can you hear me now?
Better, yeah. Sorry. I didn't want to interrupt, but couldn't hear you.
So he basically told me it took him 11 days to call me. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're busy, they're booked.
No, Cody, I don't think that the police are covering anything up at all. And I don't get that impression from you either. I just think that they are, maybe it's a lack of not having enough law enforcement, enough resources to get in and do those things, or, coming from a higher up situation, not allowing not ordering them to go in and do some things.
I don't know who just made that comment, but I can tell you what they just said. I have my last few interviews with some homeless people keep telling me that the cops are involved. Now that's allegedly. I don't know if I'm just saying some of these people are saying some police are involved. I don't know if it's covering up or if a cop is getting prostitutes. I don't know.
That's a big allegation, yeah.
No, I'm just saying allegedly. This is what it's on video.
Mm-hmm.
Some homeless people are saying that the police are involved. I don't know in which way. I'm not saying, good or bad. That's just what they said to me.
Well, it kind of goes back to that car lot and what's being done out of that car lot. Now, I'm not making an allegation that the police are involved, but I know that there's a lot happening out of that car lot with
No, I'm not making an allegation about the police being involved, but you know what? I will put up an allegation about that car lot being involved.
Yeah.
They have those homeless girls that are prostitutes that do fentanyl. They're living on their property, and some of those men that live on that property were throwing rocks at me.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you trying to hide? And then you're so angry at me for just trying to talk to you and give you a flyer. That's the thing to me. you're so angry at me, you won't even accept the flyer. Just take the flyer and I'll leave. So to me, that's suspect that you won't take a flyer of 6 dead girls.
Yeah, I agree with perfectly here. I that people do lie, especially those who think that law enforcement are out to get them, and I do think that sometimes that's a big issue that happens for sure. But Jenny Bitty said we made a horrible decision to defund the police. I don't know, because like I've seen some of your interviews with law enforcement, and a lot of them, you know, like you said, they talked about how things changed after all the riots and stuff happened there, and them not having the power, the capability to go in and do some of the things they'd like to do.
Yeah, the voters changed it for them being able to protect the community, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even arrest someone smoking fentanyl, you know? And now they're it's on the, they're getting ready to start to try to pass a bill where you can carry up. Well, I'm not going to say that because
I'll break in. I watched a video before I had found your channel, and it was a law enforcement officer driving a newswoman around and showing her what downtown Portland was like.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls up on a guy smoking fentanyl, and he's like, oh, they're smoking over there. I got to stop and give him a ticket. Just give him a ticket. He walks up on the guy. The guy just drops the fentanyl on the ground, and the officer's like, can you at least pick it up? There's kids around here. And there's a lot of videos out there with people smoking right there on the streets and kids in the background and stuff. And he's like, please don't just leave it on the ground. Pick it up, do something with it, because there are kids that walk around out there. And that just blows my mind that, that officer was only allowed to write like a speeding ticket. He's watching a person smoking fentanyl, and all he can truly do is give him a ticket. I didn't know that things like that were happening. That's crazy.
And the news, YouTube will not let me show. And like I don't know if you have to have like a journalism degree or a pass or what, but YouTube will not let me show like what you seen in that video. Mm-hmm. The news, they won't let me put that stuff up no more. I have the craziest videos of people smoking fentanyl. I had to take them down because they won't let me show drug use. But it's weird that these news stations can show it, but I can't.
It might be covered under I don't know. It's covered a certain way, but because I know a lot of people have issues with like showing guns and stuff on their channels, but then obviously you see them on news channels. So I don't know where all that falls in YouTube. I'm not that brushed up on YouTube, but it's just sad seeing they want to do more. They truly do want to do more. And from that situation in this video alone, they had to the news reporter was interviewing the guy who just got a ticket, and they had to quickly leave because they had to go give a guy Narcan, and he was the closest unit with Narcan. And he said this was the third time in the span of 2 weeks that he's given that same guy Narcan. And it's sad. It's just really sad in my eyes.
Well, yeah. Well, when you decriminalize meth, heroin, fentanyl is not decriminalized, and they decriminalize LSD. But the one thing that I can't remember the name of it, but I believe it's Bill 50. I can't say the bill because I can't remember the name of it exactly right now, but it's going on the dock. It's in process. Portland, Oregon, by next year, plans to decriminalize prostitution.
Maybe Richard will know it. He's in the chat.
It's in my community posts. Yeah, so I already knew this was going to happen, and they're trying to pass a law where you can carry up to 5 grams of fentanyl before it's a misdemeanor.
That's what Richard just said here, is that 5 grams of fentanyl is legal in Portland.
Yeah, before you can carry 5 grams of fentanyl, anything over that becomes a misdemeanor. Can you imagine? Like they say, like not even one of it can. Yeah, just imagine.
So what they're doing out there, excuse me, I'm learning on your channel. They're not like doing pills like we see on the news. It's a powder form that they're
smoking the pills. Back in the day when we were younger, or let's just say 10 years ago, that
Mhm.
they're called blueies. They're the blue pills.
Right.
And they people were just doing them. Like
Mhm.
they were just eating them. They were swallowing them like a pill. Now someone became creative and they start smoking it with a straw with aluminum foil. So
Hmm.
who knows who came up with that?
I think we lost you there. I don't know if you got away from your Wi-Fi or what. Yeah, a lot of places are decriminalizing it to that level. I don't know if it's helping or hurting. 5 grams is quite a bit, isn't it? I think we might have lost you, Belly. And people claim we are paranoid and when you tell them this. Yeah. No, I mean it's real. You can go out there and see these those things happening, and officers, frustrated that they can only write them a ticket and they can't do more to protect their community. And it's sad to see that frustration. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Burden? I think, yeah, we just lost him. Did you have anything else?
Um,
I didn't. They didn't cut him. I think he just lost connection.
yeah. I don't know. My cat decided to dump my coffee, I guess. So that's where I was just a little bit ago. Why I
Mm,
got real quiet.
oh,
But
okay.
I get. I don't. Mm, no, I mean, I don't think so. I definitely am curious about the one woman that I just ran across, and so
Mhm.
that would be helpful because it is sounding like it's possible. Maybe she would hang out in that that area. So I'll be curious if anybody does recognize her.
Mhm.
But
Hakab, I agree. The war on drugs didn't work. We're worse off. I don't know what the answer is at all. And I think that sadly that's a big part of the problem is that a lot of people don't know what the answer is. Looky here, Nicole B says, "Great interview, ladies. We want Bob to monetize." We
oh,
sure
jeez.
do. Monetize
Oh,
Bob. We are all for that.
oh, you guys are so funny.
So yeah, and that's possible. Perfectly imperfect. I haven't truly looked into the whole decriminalization and the effects of it. I know it worked, in Vancouver or not in Vancouver. I know it worked in other places and stuff like that, but maybe it was Vancouver. But it doesn't look like it's working right now. But if it's part of a bigger picture, then yeah, it's hopefully it starts to fix the problem or change it. But I know not everyone in here is going to agree, like I said earlier, with everything that Velly represents. I don't. I don't know if Burden does, but I personally don't. But I think there's a lot of things there that he does that is worth supporting and worth looking into. And so I'm just glad that most of you, gave us the opportunity to share out what he is doing and the help that he is doing in his community.
Yeah,
As
because
somebody,
I agree that falls in the that we don't know what the answer is. So for those that are like upset with how he's doing certain parts of it or all of it, my question is then what is the alternative? What do you recommend? And I totally understand, like, don't definitely don't end up impeding on an investigation. However, according to the people that he has asked, and that was something I was going to ask him, when he goes out tonight, everyone he comes in contact with, would he mind asking if the cops have come out and talked to them about the women? But I didn't ask him to do that because um, I don't want people to, you guys are saying like, well, it seems like they're kind of distant from him or kind of, not feeling him. Well, yeah, because everything that happened the other day and he did make that statement, like, I'll turn on you and
Mhm.
I'll get the FBI in here and I'll bring the whole thing down. This whole all of it. It'll shut it all down. And so, yeah, people are hesitant now with him from that. But um, from the people I heard him ask, that their police have not come and spoke with them. And The only reason I feel that is important is because it is for sure 3, probably all 4 of the women absolutely spent a large majority of their time in that area on that trail, interacting with those people. And like the information from the one about how she had a date the next day, well that night, and
Yeah.
her boyfriend wouldn't let her go, and so
Yeah.
she went by herself, and she was gone by the next day. She was gone, and so yeah, I feel that these people do have information, and that's why I think when DeetS says it's hard to, we don't agree with other people doing certain things,
Mm-mm.
but we can agree with some of this. I think the reason why is those other people are going to people's homes that are, um, these folks probably wouldn't speak with Ellie for any reason. I agree with you. I totally agree. So then that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the answer?
And
It's
I
got to
like
be a civilian.
I like what Papa Jones said here. I like what he's doing, but him not so much. I think that's perfectly acceptable. You don't have to like the
Right.
dude at all, but what he
Right.
is doing, I think, is valuable. His personality might rub you the wrong way, or the way that he handles his business might rub you the wrong way.
He rubbed me the wrong way the first day I
Oh my
watched him.
gosh, yeah,
It was
like I
fine, fine,
said.
fine, and then all of a sudden he's like, "These YouTubers, these true crime channels
He
are
went
off
up on
taking this,
me.
and they weren't even gonna," and it was like yeah, it was like a blast at you, and you're like, "Hold on, I
I'm
sent
like,
a bunch
whoa,
of
whoa, whoa, I
people
didn't do
over."
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I was a little, like, offended. I'm like, "Okay, well, he's
Mhm,
accusing everyone. I'm not even monetized. I'm not making any money on it." And because of that, I
mhm,
was like, "Okay, I won't cover it then. I won't talk about it because I don't wanna be
mhm.
accused of, like, so he had a strong feeling, and it definitely rubbed me the wrong way, but I hung in there, and I was like, "Let's just see what he does. Let's just see."
Yep, and
And I think that the fact somebody is doing something is better than nothing because we don't have an answer. So what
right.
do? We all just sit here until we get one? Nothing's gonna change. It's in fact gonna get worse and worse as we've witnessed. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I don't think I agree with, we don't all have to agree with all of it, but or even like him, but do we know that these people would not speak to law enforcement? And from what they've said, law enforcement hasn't gone to talk to them. And it does seem they spent their final days, maybe weeks, months, whatnot, in
Mhm.
that area around those people. And so I do feel that this is it's a it can be beneficial.
Yeah,
And
I do too.
yeah,
Richard, I just want to say before you leave, thank you for joining us. Your story really touched my heart, and so I'm so thankful that you stopped by, and praying for you. And I hope things keep moving forward for you in a positive manner, like they have been. I really do, really, really do. I just want to get
yes.
that out there before he took off.
No, that's good.
Um,
Yes.
oh, that's okay, Velly. That's fine. I think it was a good point to kind of wrap up anyway. So thank you for coming up and sharing all that with us.
I
Thank
mean, yeah, and people don't realize, like, too, he is absolutely risking his life. Like, to take away most of the things, what about if somebody's there and, you got to realize they all got needles and they very well could be dirty. I mean, you never know. I'll pass like one person that looks like they might be using, and have people be like, "Well, stay clear of that. You never know if they'll shank you with a dirty needle." Like, and I'm
you.
like, "What?" Okay, so he's going out there and he's just talking to them, like getting on their level, and I feel like he doesn't raise and get mouthy until they put when they push back is when I feel like he pushes.
Right. And
And
there's been
so
situations where he's been racially profiled out there. I
yes,
don't know if you saw that stream where
I
the 3
did.
men were, yelling racial slurs at him and things like that. And there's a lot of that happening as well that we don't see. So I don't know why, like I said, the way he handles himself is probably a combination of a lot of different factors, and he has a reason for it. I love Tracy's statement here. It says Tracy, not Tracy. As a mother of an addict whose child has put her life in danger, I agree 100% with what he's doing. I've seen firsthand how nothing is done for this community. I think that's great. Having people like that support, I I think it's one of the things that keep me coming back. Like, there's so many in the community that are supporting him, so many who have gone through this. Yeah, I wish my kid had your back here in our neighborhood. I think it's great. I think there's maybe Velly, there's some things you need to refine a little bit, but I think the intentions are really good.
And so, yes. Okay. So, what Willow said, a lot of people's displeasure comes because trying to implement true crime community rules to a community that doesn't play by true crime community rules. That's 100% it. Because here's the thing, it, it's somebody else said it earlier. When he said, "Okay, well then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna ask them what drug they use and blah blah blah," and so we got the full list right on camera, and then people were mad at and like, "Why would you do that?" And then it's like, wait, someone said, wait, you always are telling everybody they need to come with receipts. And when this man says he's going to get receipts, shame on him. Like, that's wrong. And so, yes, it is a rock and a hard place. And that's perfect what Willow said. That's exactly it. He isn't true crime. And it's hard. I mean, how do you've got rules. Yeah, it's a unique place. And
It's different. It's
yeah,
different than anything I've ever witnessed or watched, and maybe that's just me being naive and never watching that sort of content before, and that's why I find it interesting and approach it with an open mind and willing to see what he's doing and see what he has to say and the interactions he has, because it's just a different type of thing, and it's his community, and little Boston Scallion, I don't know if you've seen your little sister, but if you watch some of his streams, there's a chance that maybe he spoke with her. It surprises me, almost every live stream, there's someone in the chat saying, "Hey, that's so and so," or "That's so and so," or "I know this person or that person," and just connecting those or making those connections.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you
It's
don't have to
I
like Belly or like the way he does what he does, but he's trying to help his community and help people at the same time. Who are we to judge when we aren't doing anything? That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's kind of the thing.
You're right, Willow.
Yeah,
The
no,
true
that's
crime people rarely play by the true crime rules. I think if you go watch, I had a lot of people message me last night and say, "Well, they aren't serial killers." Well, or it's not a serial killer. Well, Belly himself's never claimed that it was. And are there connections? Absolutely. Go check out Gray Hughes' videos on it. Don't take my word for it. Take a true crime creator you trust's word for it, that there are some connections worth exploring. And like
yep.
I said, I don't think it's necessarily a serial killer in the sense of what we, like Dahmer or, Ed Gein or things like that, more so as crime of opportunity or related to some of the activities they're doing out there, possibly.
Yeah, and it's real life as real as it gets, so I can't judge at all for him trying to help. He's doing a lot more than most of us ever would. Oops, it just moved on me. May not like it, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's the thing. It may not everything may not be perfect the way that we all feel that it should be, but it's something. And yeah, the biggest thing that I would be concerned, because like I said, I think he does have a reason to be asking them. There is reason that we know that those women were there. They associated with those people, spent time with them, and so I think that it's not like he's harassing in an area that has nothing. Like, why is he doing that? I think it all makes sense, and
Mhm.
the only thing would be right whether it's impeding on an investigation. And again, that puts you in a hard spot when somebody says that there's a bone somewhere, and then he says, "Leave it there." And then it turns into they deliver it to him and it's in a bag and it's in the tent and and at what point
Yeah,
you're like, well, did he call
we
the
didn't
cops?
really share that properly, and I think sometimes when you're having a conversation like this, you
Yeah,
forget key points.
it's okay.
It wasn't that he couldn't, like, he told them initially when they first told him about the bone, he told them to leave the bone where it is,
Mhm.
and he would try to get someone down there to get it. Well, the next day he goes to this dab or daps camp, and they have the bone. So, and he's like, what am I supposed to do with it now? It's been moved. So it's not like he was just like, oh yeah, I'll take it and turn it in. So
Yeah. And then when people are like, well, did he call the cops? And then it's like, well, once it's already been moved, now it's sitting inside of their tent with them in a bag, and they're trying to, and then he's supposed to call cops, and then it's just all already messed up. It's already messed up. And so, yeah, it's sometimes if we are able to just explain kind of what led to things, it will make a little more sense. And yeah, no, it's true. Addicts absolutely
yeah.
won't until they are ready. It's not going to happen. That is very, very true. Fact. Yeah.
There's one guy, I can't remember his name, maybe Alex. It starts with an A. I can't remember, but he's helped him into rehab a couple different times, and it hasn't been successful yet from what I've seen. So there's situations like that happen, and I still applaud him for continuing to try to get this kid into rehab. But like perfectly said here, until he truly, truly wants it, it's not going to happen.
Also, he grew up on that bike trail riding his bike as a little kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, Hiccup. I like what he's doing. I don't know if our approach would work out there after watching some of these things. And I totally get the mindset of not understanding it and not agreeing with it. Because like Burden said too, I had a lot of reservations when I first started watching of like, oh, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. But I don't know if the way that I would do it, if I went out there and tried to do it my way, if it would help anything. I don't
I
even think I get past the second person.
exactly. That's it. And then when I first watched him, yeah, he would start to have an interaction and then like raise his voice and get loud, and then I'm like, "Oh no, this isn't good. This isn't good." But then it would be good. And I was like, "Whoa, okay." And I watched it happen multiple times, and I was like, he understands these people. And he explained sometimes they're not paying attention, right? They are high and maybe kind of drifting and looking over this way. And so he's just trying to get their attention. It's not to be disrespectful, it's just to be sure that they actually are hearing what he's saying. And yeah, no, I don't think I could last. I really don't. I truly do not think so.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Well, he
it's a special kind to do that, and I just don't think I could. Yeah, I don't think I would make it. Not with what they need, you know. Yeah.
and thank you, Velly, for coming in and coming up and having this conversation with Burden and I truly do appreciate it.
Yes, Velly, I'll send it over. You do. I'm gonna send it through email, I suppose. That's the only thing he has, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
You
I'll
have
send
it?
over.
I can send you his email if you don't have it.
I might have it. Still think.
Yeah, it's his real world community. That's why I said, like, I know that there were some claims of him being like JLR, and I truly get where people can make that connection, but it's different. This is his community. This is, if these things were happening in my community, I would be trying. I do things in my community. I don't know about you all, but I do things in my community. It's not on this level because I don't have this situation in my community. But
Okay, that's disgusting.
if it
Seriously, that's so gross.
Oh my gosh, did someone get him real quick? I got
That's
it.
disgusting.
I got it. What is wrong with people?
Ew.
Ignore that. Completely ignore that. It's so weird. Like the last 2 days, people like that. I don't know where they're coming from.
Man, I haven't had somebody say stuff like something stupid like that since Marshmallow.
Marshmallow is even fun at times. This person that I think they ended up blocking like 11 profiles yesterday of that same Mr. Burgles or whatever.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it was after what's her name? Angel came in and shared the story of the catfish.
It's so weird to me too, like, I don't know, the people that they mess with, you know? Like
I've never had that issue before. It's so crazy.
Yeah, nothing like
You go
he's
out.
nothing right, and that's what I was gonna say. I was starting to say that. Yeah, that was awful. And it's okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, JLR goes to homes like people living in their house, their privacy. That there isn't any reason to believe or connect that there would be any need to be questioned. And it is something like the police have already spoken with them. He really is impeding. He really is sticking himself where he does not belong, for sure. But then this is totally different with it's I just feel like he's a buffer between those that are living out on the streets and law enforcement. And it's so true. Like they're not going to speak to law enforcement.
Mm-mm.
I just feel like, and honestly, the public can be of great help. And also, I don't feel that he's harassing them, disrespecting them, and I don't know. It's just it's different to me, and that's why because I did question that about myself. I did say like, wait,
Mhm.
how can I be against what they do, but I'm okay with what Velly's doing.
I know. It's definitely a moral issue I've thought about myself. And I get it. I get it. I'm with Papa Jones. Whoever's doing the trolling, why don't you just hop up here and I'll drop a link. You can hop up and have a chat instead of and talk to me about why you're continuing to do this because it's bizarre. At least say something. That's very weird behavior there.
They hit
Very.
all the channels.
Yeah, all the. Oh, I don't know.
Hmm.
I haven't seen that one that came in yesterday. I hadn't seen that one in anywhere.
I don't even know what this one said. I just know that their
Yeah,
literal name
I
was
don't.
it.
They didn't say anything. They just put a dot. It was weird. I may go back and watch and despise his tactics. That's possible. I still think when it's your hood, you're allowed to go harder in the paint. You don't have a dog in the fight. I agree. I agree. When it's your community that you grew up in and you see, like, one of his videos, he talks about how it just kept getting closer and closer to him. And he actually shares this. It's not even a tent. It's like they made a tent building right in front of someone's very beautiful home.
Mhm.
And they were selling drugs out of it. They were living in it and selling drugs out of it. And it, it was very frustrating. But him drawing attention to that, he actually got some government official to contact him and they got it moved. And it's your community. It's his community. So
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also that
I
he's
agree
not leaving it.
perfectly. I struggle with that a lot. Yeah, you
Which
need to do so in a way that will not compromise it.
right. Right.
I agree completely there. And thank you so much, Perfectly, for all the links that you have been dropping. They are very important and very helpful. And I think people, Richard, yeah, some people are just broken. And that's why I know someone was kind of frustrated with him and said, not everybody's an addict. And I'm like, he knows that. He talks to Richard. Richard's not an addict. And there are people out there like Richard who don't do drugs. And I think he sees that and understands that. But the big majority, almost
Right.
90% of them are addicted. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
What's IP2? I didn't see what she said. IP2 trolls. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
I'll have to look into it. I'd never had them before, so that's weird.
Even the community at times, but he is different. His approach may be the same, but exactly right. Yep. Yep. Yeah. When I believe it was even her that said that too. That it's yeah. He's staying. It's his community. That's where he was raised. That's you know what do you have? He's out there trying to do this for the whole. And that's what I was trying to explain a couple nights ago. I think that it's just got a bigger meaning, a bigger purpose of what he's trying to accomplish. And it just so happened that during that, there ended up being the 6 women that turned up having lost their life. And so then, it's not something he planned on. He didn't walk into it on purpose.
Oh yeah, Richard. I love this guy. I just want to go hug Richard. Oh, I just love the way he talks and things he says. I'm homeless, not helpless.
Aw.
I love the true crime community at times, but you're right. Velly is different. His approach maybe it may not be the same, but exactly about it is being on his turf. Not many stay on their turf. I agree. I'd take this video documentation and go to every council meeting. I'd be writing letters, tagging on socials everywhere I could be heard. Well, some of them are showing up in his comment sections, and I can't remember what video it was under. I don't know if he's still in here. Wanted him to take down a video because of a specific area it was highlighting. And then a little bit later, they actually came in and cleaned it up because of that video.
Yeah, and I think, Willow, I think that's exactly what he's gonna do. I think that, his intent is really to get all the things
Mhm.
and put it in one place and do exactly that.
Mhm. Oh, so right here, 90% are mentally ill or on fentanyl or meth. I never see alcohol cans or liquor or cigarettes, just aluminum foil and straws.
Hmm.
That's very telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree perfectly. A lot of people do need to learn about addicts. A lot of addicts addicts for end up being addicts due to many reasons. Mental health, misled to try it, force. Yeah, there are so many different reasons that an addict becomes an addict. Absolutely.
Mhm. Yep.
That would be a cool shirt, Richard. You should put it on a shirt. I'm homeless, not helpless.
I just think some people need to learn more about addiction. A lot of addicts end up being addicts. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, no, my boyfriend is actually one of the people that, is like, we are very different on kind of a lot of things, but yeah, he absolutely does not see, like, when that gets brought up about whether it's a disease, he does not agree at all, and yeah, no, and,
Mhm.
because he sticks with the fact, like, well, they did it the first time knowing that it you could be hooked after that. He's
Mhm.
like, "So it was a choice." He's like, "People that have cancer didn't choose to try it out one time." And
I know
so
people have different views of that,
yeah.
whether it's a disease or whether it's not a disease. Life's full of choices, and sometimes we make really, really bad ones, and the ramifications of that begin to snowball.
Yeah, and I think and then from there, I think it varies on people. Like, even
Mm,
with that, I still can have empathy towards the situation that they're in because
absolutely.
it's so hard, and once you're there, like, to get out, it does take a lot of strength, and um, you know,
And
so
you always have it with you. You always carry it with you, the urge to go back to it and things like that. So it's definitely takes a lot of strength, a lot of
yeah.
strength.
Yep.
Well, do you have anything else? If not, I'm gonna hop off here. We've been here almost 4 hours, and so or
Wow.
3 almost 3 hours, and so I I think it's been good. Oh, you're fine, Nikki. Hey, how's it going, honey? Yeah, we've all made a lot of bad choices in our life. A lot of people have. Yep.
Isn't that right? And honestly, instead of, like, pointing fingers at people and being like, "Yeah, well, they're a mess up," like, why don't you just sit and humble yourself and be grateful that you didn't,
Mhm.
um, make a decision that would impact your life in the way that some others are living with, and so, I don't know,
Yeah.
I just think that it's a different perspectives on things.
Right, and like, Bowling with Cotton Balls said here, many times they took a script given by a professional, and
Yes.
that is what led to other things, and that's so
Yep.
true, and I'm with, perfectly here. It's not as simple as just saying or as simple as the addict just choosing to quit. I've shared our story before about the foster baby we had, and his mom and stepdad were addicted, and it took them a long time and a hard wake-up call to get clean, and it's something they've been clean for 3 years now, but it was a probably a 20-year battle before that. It was tough. So, very proud of them, but it's also a daily fight for them to stay clean, because it's once you are an addict, it's hard to turn your back from that for sure.
Yeah. Well, no, this is a good stream. Thank you for having me up. And I'm hopefully the mother writes back and says that she has been found is what I'm hoping. But if not, maybe we could see if anybody that Velly talks with recognizes her.
Yeah, no, I think that would be really, really good. I was trying to grab your link to drop it, but why is it always takes me to your name? Burden of proof is a very common thing to search on you. There it is. Okay.
Is it?
If I do it by channel, it's there. There we go. So make sure you guys are subbed up to Burden. And then I'm also drop Velly's link again if you want to sub up to him. I think there's interesting things happening there. And I think that maybe your opinions will change a little bit if you kind of check it out the way we did.
Yeah. Yeah, but I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for having me up, and I'll talk to you after on Discord.
All right. Thank you, love. You have a great
Alrighty.
night.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Have a great 4th.
You too. Be safe.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for listening. Do you have a picture of the young woman? Of the one that one of us will put it out. The one of us, either Burden or I, will put it out on our community post. Nick, see, you understand addiction. I'm very lucky to have the life I have after my addiction issues. Yep. It's a lot. hmm It's a hard struggle for a lot of people. I was trying to see what. Yeah. I hope you guys have a great 4th. I know I'm gonna go check out some fireworks tonight. I don't know if the rest of you are. Also, I'm digging into a really interesting case. Back to the true crime portion of it. It's a really interesting case. Then it'll be presented with facts and things like that. But it's one I don't think you guys have heard about out here. And cover your ears, Papa Jones, because I don't say this lightly. I think people are way too hard on law enforcement most of the time. And I think that people go to law enforcement corruption really quickly, and it's not fair. But with this case, I think something might be there. And it takes a lot for me to say that, but I truly think. My dog came up and bumped my computer right as I was saying bye. But I hope you all have a great weekend. Have a great 4th of July. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Get a Uber. Have a friend. Have a DD. Be safe for you. Let off fireworks, all those things. And remember Bridget, Leanne Ramsey, Webster, Joanna Speaks, Kristen Smith, Charity Lynn Perry, Ashley Real, and an unidentified Native American or Alaskan woman aged 25 to 50, as well as Vicky Diaz, who is missing. Remember those names, look into those things. I know, don't laugh at me. You totally came up with it. Good. All right, you guys have a great day and a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Love, yeah, watch your air quality too. Oof. Love, love.